fast. Oh my mama. See if it let's go to it right now. Somebody go to the chat. Is somebody in the chat right now? See if it's up right now, man. My dumb ass moving
It's
too
all good. That's
fast.
dope though. We could assign it even when we're already fired up.
Come on now.
Sick. Yeah, no biggie. Because now look at us. Let's go.
Burnt like a motherfucker, bro.
Let me see. Let's go Pete.
Oh, we in there.
Yeah, look at us. Boom, 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 boom.
Here we go, baby.
You know what I'm saying? It ain't nothing but a hop skip.
Let's go. We up.
Look at that. Hey, good shout out to Derek, man. Good looking out, big bro.
100% facts. What's up, fellas?
What's good? We in this thing.
What's up, my G's? Look at Lee.
My G's.
He said, I need to buy you a new hat.
No, hell no. Nah. See, here's the thing.
We talking about
girl goes,
hat.
My girl said she was on the hunt for she said this to me on my birthday. She was like, I was trying to find you an all black Niner hat because like you always wear that camo one every time you wear stuff that's not red. I'm like, exactly. Because I'm still banging the gang. You know what I mean? But then I'm like, yeah, you know what? And like when we moved here, I there's certain things that I couldn't find anymore. Like for example, I had hella like Giants hats. I don't know where any of them are. Like my whole giant stack of hats, they're gone. Like the Stanford Giants.
Yeah,
those ones I got them in all colorways. You know what I mean? Like
what we call that? Them is the sucker free hats. That's what the SF stands.
Exactly, the sucker free hat, man.
Mama.
I remember one time someone was like, he's like, you got the Scott free hats. And I was like, I never thought of that.
Okay.
I was like, right.
Oh,
let's go. Yeah. Shout out to the fucking Savages too. That was this crew that I knew growing up and shit. They used to get in a bunch of bar fights all the time. And then like as a joke, they called themselves the FSs, you know what I mean? The fucking Savages, bro. And then they would wear Frisco hats.
We got Lee in the building. We got King D in the building.
King D.
We got Albert in the building.
What's up, Albert?
Big bro Derek said, man, make sure you hit the subscribe and hit the thumbs up for the Playmakers, man.
Yeah, man. Appreciate you, Derek. And unfortunately, man, like, shout out to our ear to the streets. We got to deliver some bad news and
let's run it.
Yeah, fuck it.
In proper fashion, let's run it.
Yeah, let's do it right. Yeah, and so man, straight from the streets, man, from the streets of Fantasy Row, we got some sad news. Maybe go ahead and cue the sad violins, even. Because man, everybody better figure it out. One of the guys that got you here won't be there with you in the big chipper. Our man, Steve Lamb, aka Lamb Chops, got the rest of his season chopped down. They got nothing to play for, man. And now you got a boo-boo. It's time to sit down. He did say something last week. He said, I'm surprised I could even go. Because he's talking about how beat up he is. But he's like, but I'm going to be there for my guys. He said the right thing to say when they weren't mathematically eliminated. Got mathematically eliminated. Like, listen, my guys are going to be all right out there. Because I got all these injuries. And I was surprised I was even able to go. You know what I mean? It's like,
let me kick my feet up now.
Yeah.
Club and go do video shoots in the club.
Mm-hmm. And if, he could, he's like, he might have cried a little bit. Then he took like a big ass stack of cash and just wiped his tears.
Fuck it.
You know what I mean? Shout out to our guy Lamb Chops. Fuck you too, by the way. But love you. You got me here in one of my championships, and now I gotta make do without you.
Mm-hmm. You say no hurts neither.
No hurts either. Ooh. Everybody hurts sometimes. Yeah, man.
Yeah, that shit do hurt,
bro. I'm excited. You ready for this? Because one of my opponents in that Super Bowl, I just lost Lamb. He just lost Hurts. But he gets to he just had Lamar go on me. Pause. So now he has no Hurts. So he gets to fire up Sam Darnold. Fuck that guy.
Oh shit.
I hate Sam
He
Darnold.
played his cards well.
This guy, I fuck with this dude too in these leagues. His name's Draftaholics, right? In the offseason, he traded for Sam Darnold. And
Oh wow.
This is before the
The injury.
McCarthy injury. It was probably like weeks before then. He was like, man, Sam Darnold's gonna start. He might even keep the job. I was like, that was a great trade. I think he sent like it was like Antonio Gibson and some picks. It was like some bullshit. I was like, yeah, you're awesome. You know what I mean? It's the type of shit I would try to get away with at first. You know what I mean?
I ain't mad at that.
Yeah, now look at that. Like it's the moves you make sometimes in those dynasty leagues that like you might not know it pans out to pay off in the long run, but this one hell it sure did. You know what I mean?
100%. After week 17, week 18 come don't the trades open up in some of the leagues too?
Yep.
100%.
Certainly does.
Give me a second.
Yeah, do your thing. Yeah, so everybody just we gotta figure it out. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I'm pretty sure there's some Brandon Cooks Brandon Cooks availability. I was about to say availability and Cooks together. I said Brandon Cooksable. That's not even a word, but we're just looking at it. We're so dumb. We making up words, bro. A Cooksable.
We got Ghost Monkey in the building. What's up, big bro?
What's that in Big Ghost?
Yeah, Derek said no Hurts, no Ken W.
Dang, that all that is hitting one of Derek's team, and like all three of them, I think he has in one league.
Fantasy championships are challenge us owners. Facts.
You ain't lying. Oh, I'm gonna go grab these papers out the car.
It's some bullshit. Facts.
I know. I'm pretty fucking mad about that shit. Somebody's gonna pay dearly.
Oh, he dropped it, Keenan. Yeah, man. Injuries coming up at the week 17. That shit hurt, boy. Especially you've been battling all year with these fucking injuries, man. Waiting for players to come back. Everything. Shout out to everybody that made it to the. Just shout out to all the motherfucking. Oh wait, my bad, y'all. I'm gonna go turn that motherfucker off right now. I'll be right back. Well, I'll wait till Bogey come back. But yeah, though, man, just shout out to everybody in their leagues. You know what I mean? Especially the motherfuckers that's in the chat rocking with us, man. Shout out to all y'all leagues and shit. You know what I mean? Like we've been saying, we trying to plan the good defense or good punt recovery. I mean punt special teams punt fucking tackling the motherfucker. He tackled him inside the 5-yard line. The fuck was Brad thinking? But yeah, though, we gonna try and make sure that we planning to interact. You know what I mean? And get y'all in these motherfucking leagues. So we can go ahead and go to war together for sure, bro. What's up, Minnesota Den? You know you got it, big bro. But yeah, though, man, that's definitely on the horizon. Joe said he got the motherfuckers. I think a couple of the playoff leagues set up already. Yeah, this shit finna be lit, man. We ain't stopping. It's gonna be our first real off season in this shit. 100%, bro. In here doing a little bit of watching. Y'all know what it is right now. 100%. Lee said Cardinals Cardinals quarterback Kyler Murray on connection with rookie Marvin Harrison. It's not where this team needs it to be. Yeah, for sure. 100%. Already joined the first playoff league he set up. Let's go. Matter of fact, I didn't even check the sleeper. Let me go do that. I should have just put that shit up right here. I got the screen split. I need 2 motherfucking monitors. When I get 2 fucking monitors right here in the new desk, this shit gonna be set up nice. Oh my mama. Niners running back Isaac Garendo foot hamstring was a limited participant in Thursday's practice. What's up, Dan? Oh my mama. When Bogey come back, I'm gonna go turn that. Well, I gotta start put another load in the fucking dryer though on my melon.
My bad. Fucking rainwater got in my ear. That's gross.
What'd you say, big bro? I think your shit a little low.
My bad. I turned it low because I'm opening the garage. Yeah, that motherfucking rainwater is crazy. It shit got in my ear. It's weird.
All right.
Hey, go ahead, do your thing.
Right back.
Yep. What was that in there? Oh, what's up? I think I just saw Denny in the comments. What's happening? We in this thing. The big chipper. See, my goal is always to try to get in the big chipper in the sky. That means you're in like multiple, like a constellation. You know what I mean? Only in the 2 this year. Now I just hope I could take one of them. I want both though. Is that greedy or is that just hard work? You know what I mean? We ain't playing around. We're killers, man. Killing shit out here in the killing fields. I might need some weed. Can't roll without the tree. All right, so we got a 3-0 game. Exhilarating. I like that this game to shoot out, man. Let's shoot it out. Come on. I need some fucking shootout. Wow, they're giving some work to Kenny McIntosh there. Okay. The offensive line for Seattle looked pretty good this year, all things considered. This year and last year, I should say, because we saw like 10 years of them being hella whack. And Russell Wilson had to like do magical shit for hella long. Geno Smith, it's almost like they like him better or something. They're like, let's protect this guy. The other guy was weird. Wow. He just dropped an ism right there. He said the Seahawks run the lowest amount of plays this year. That's coming off of last year, too. Last year, they ran like, but it was more so because they couldn't sustain drives. This year, they're taking shots down the field, chopping fields in half, and still being able to shoot it out without the running mad plays because they run a good amount, too. So it's kind of crazy how that works out because they're actually playing better than this year than they did last year. Jackson Smith and Jigba almost had one and fucking almost had that catch, but who was that? I think it was Gordon came through and just broke that bitch up. Brr. Tyler Gordon, he's a killer out of that. He's a killer nickel, man. Don't fuck, and he could play, and he could go outside too. He's not just playing the fucking nickel. That kid can play all around the field. I think they actually just paid. Oh, no, they didn't pay him yet. Well, Seahawks punting the ball. This is exactly how I envisioned it. Fucking A. And are we already done with the first quarter for real? No fucking way. Hold on. My shit hella loud, I think. In the entire fuck. I got JSN in this motherfucker tonight. I got what else do I got? Oh, I got some DKs. Yeah, I got some cats in this game tonight, buddy.
Yeah, I ain't got nobody in this motherfucking game. Sounds like my brain today, the buzzer washed and fried on my mama.
Who's that?
Lee said that.
Nice.
Who is the CB from the Niners that failed a physical for the Colts and the Vikings just signed? Shit, I don't know. What's his name, Brody? I can't. Anybody know his name?
Is it a veteran?
He said, who is this CB from the Niners that failed a physical for the Colts and the Vikings just signed him?
Man, he's from the Colts. Is it? No, it's not Witherspoon. Witherspoon's over there with the Rams now. I forgot. I mean, he got me. I don't know. I think he's actually asking the question right. It's not like a trivia. Like he's not like.
Yeah, no, I think because I think
Yeah, I don't know.
the Vikings signed the guy.
So you're telling me I should root for the Vikings? Never. I actually am rooting for the Vikings low key. Not just because that's my guy's team, but like
he overshot it. A Rome, the pass sailed on his motherfucking ass. Well, Rome was wide open.
Hey, look it. If they don't let up on that he's gonna hit him on one of those big ones. Pause, because like that's what Seattle's been doing this last couple of weeks down the field, big ones. That's why I'm, you know, what I'm saying, unless your name is Marvin Harrison, right?
Come on now. Oh, Rome stopped his route.
Oh no, Rome bust.
It looked like he shortened it up. Yeah, Caleb tell him to keep going, like a little 10-yard in route.
Hold on one second. We'll close this route.
Yeah, Darden better start fair catching that shit. Oh, Ambry Thomas, that's who it is. Okay, yeah, he was on the. That's the motherfucker that gave up the PIs in the Green Bay fucking playoff game, the first game, and then in the NFC Championship he was getting cooked. My mama last year playoff run, Den.
Yeah, that's why we didn't want him. Thomas Avery. Did they really end up with Avery? That'd be fucked up. I feel bad. He's a good rotational guy, though. Also, anytime you get with someone like a Brian Flores, that guy's gonna fix your issues. You know what I mean? Because if you were brought in, it's because you fit that system. When it comes to Belichick and all the Belichickians, like Brian Flores being one of them, you're gonna bring in personnel that fits what you do. You don't usually bring a guy in and be like, "Hey, we're gonna mold you to fit this scheme." I mean, that's why when they peel off the Blake Cashmans and they peel off the Grenards and they do these things because they know these guys are gonna fit their scheme. You know what I mean?
Oh, my mama. Big bro said it. Derek said he started Keenan tonight. Yep, it's Ambry Thomas. He said. We forgot all about Roma Dunze. I forgot he was on the team. Yeah, that shit crazy, bro.
For real.
Which way you think the Bears go for their head coaching they search?
If they want to go, I mean, I think there's the low hanging fruit where it's like people are just kind of anointing Cliff Kingsbury because like what he's doing with the Commandos. Plus, on top of that, he has this. But this history for a year with him and down in LA, right? With Caleb Williams, I mean, he was like the head coach assistant or something like that. Mm-hmm. He was something on the coaching staff. That one of those years in SC was it SC that Caleb came out? I can't even remember.
Yeah, he came out of USC.
Yeah. USC. Hold on, let me see what my little man's saying. There's a lot of activity going on. Yes.
I had to rule that. And wasn't hidden order enough. Yeah, I don't know which way they go. I mean, Cliff might be a good mentor or help develop Caleb, but is he gonna build the culture in order for them to win? You know what I mean? 100%. You're gonna have to build and develop at the same damn time. And is Cliff ready for that? You know what I mean? It would be a second go round. You know what I mean? And being up under Dan Quinn, and this run is a damn good run. You know what I mean? So to me, they either gonna go for a culture builder or it gotta be a quarterback. I mean, a quarterback whisper. what is a quarterback whisperer gonna be able to build a program now? Fucking or a culture. Now, fucking McDaniel done did it, even though McDaniel ain't won no Super Bowl or nothing. But from what we seen with Brian Flores and where he was at in Miami to compare to where Mike McDaniel was, you know what I mean? Mike McDaniel, he walked in with a good team, 100%. So he was able to make shit shake. You know what I mean? So yeah, so maybe he is ready for another second go around as a head coach.
It'd be his third.
His third? Who is this?
Yeah, Josh McDaniel.
No. Fucking
Mike McDaniel.
No, Cliff Kingsbury.
Oh, Cliff Kingsbury. Oh yeah. It'd be his second go around, right? And like, if it's not Cliff Kingsbury and they go defensive minded, they don't have to look far. First of all, Ben Johnson is the one that is actually the one they're going to interview, I think, this week. I just thought of that right now, right? So that Chicago's actually going to interview Ben Johnson because they already have a vacant spot. And like once they get into the playoffs, they won't be able to do it until the 2 weeks before the Super Bowl, if they get to the Super Bowl. You know what I mean?
Right.
So they're going to interview him this week, and that's probably the one that they're going to try to push for no matter what. On top of that, if they go the other way, they don't have to look far outside that division either. They go Brian Flores because that's another dude who I think. But see, here's my thing when they hire defensive-minded guys. That OC, the moment you have success, he's getting a gig somewhere.
100%.
You know what I mean? So I think their best bet for this kid and his development is get an offensive-minded guy in there. You know what I mean? There's not too many John Harbaughs of the world where it's like you could have a guy who's just like, I think originally came from special teams where you just have this innate ability. I mean, this knack for being.
I mean, Tomlin
too. There you go. Dan Campbell too. Like that, but that's a rarity, right? Because then these guys, they come up through the ranks. Like they start from the nothing to something to shit. Versus like being a part of somebody's staff and then you start getting poached because your staff is good, right? Like, for example, Shanahan. They just start taking everyone that was connected to him at one point. Sean McVay, they just want to give everybody. Andy Reid, whether it was Andy Reid, it's funny too because he had the Doug Petersons, the Matt Nagy's, who else came from his Frank Reich, you know what I mean? All these guys, they all came from the Andy Reid side, and then since then the other tree that's first, obviously the Shanahan tree, the McVay tree. There's some LaFleur. There's LaFleur disciples out there too, but none of them got head coaching. They've all got OC gigs here. I guess Arthur Smith. Arthur Smith is a product of LaFleur. You know what I mean? So I guess you can say, yeah, even he's produced some head coaches out there.
Well, he said Devontae Adams and Sauce Gardner non-participants in practice today.
Damn, that's sucky.
We got
No, go ahead.
Oh, we got Antonio in the building. What's up, big bro?
What's up, twin?
Have we heard any?
Merry Chipmas to you.
Come on now.
We in the chipper.
Minnesota Den said, have we heard anything on Green Bay's Jair Alexander? Is he playing this week?
He's a full go.
Antonio, my guy.
He's a full go in practice, officially labeled questionable. I can see them fully removing him tomorrow or weighting it down on some gamesmanship. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Some gamesmanship, I should say.
We got half of the Ignorant Thinkers podcast in the building. We got Ron in the building. He said, "What up, everybody?" And send me the link. I'm gonna send it to you right now.
Yeah, I was about to say, join us, Ron.
I'm gonna send it
Shout out to our man Ryan, ladies and gentlemen. Stay tuned. We got a special guest coming your way. Our man representing the Ignorant Thinkers, man. It's gonna be dope.
Let's get it, bruh. Get Ron up in here. Lee said, Dennis, you're so correct. My brain had fried and I smoked nothing. LOL, high on life. Come on now. That's right.
There you go.
What up, Dennis?
Denny.
Salute.
We the thing. Yeah, I want to get I'm excited for Ron coming. I want to pick his brain on what he thinks about his first start for the future.
Come on now.
Also, something remarkable. This was brought to my attention by somebody else that the Falcons have had multiple left-handed QBs now that are only a letter away from the male phallus. Michael Vick, Michael Penix. Only one. Mike Dick and Michael Penis. It's not my work, but when someone brought that to me, I was like, that's good. I'm going to bring that up on the pod one day.
That's crazy.
Coincidence? No. I think not.
Tonio said, I have something nice I wanted to send to you, Derek. Something I'm probably gonna never wear. It's a Cowboys necklace I got. Okay, that's okay, bro. I take that. I'll take that.
I think he might have got it from. Is that the one you got from Stu? I remember Stu gave some of the homies some, and rest in peace, Stu, man. I'm mad because it's the team that I adopted from him years that he gave to me. You know what I'm saying? Man, I'm in the chipper in it, and we just lost CeeDee Lamb. You know what I'm saying? But Stu, I know you might be up there guiding some of these guys, man. Come on
now.
What I mean? We trying to bring it on home for the legend. This game sucks. I like that this game to shoot out. I was liking the over at 42. Like these motherfuckers, they just know what they're doing in Vegas. Those line makers.
Fuck Vegas and the line makers.
For real. The basketball shit's the one that trips me out the most. They'll set the under over or the spread. It'll be like 2-3 points, and that motherfucker will get right on it, bruh. I'm like, how the fuck did they do that every time?
Right.
That shit tripped me out.
Like the shit Joe said with David Montgomery, 750.
Then he dies right on 750.
Oh my mama.
And it was 751 on the over for the season. Or that's what you needed, 751.
Right. Facts. What's up, Ryan?
What's up? Merry Christmas, Happy Kwanzaa, all that good shit.
Yeah, man.
Bro.
You know what I'm saying? We'll even throw in a happy Hanukkah for everybody, for all our Jewish folks out there that's in day 2 of Hanukkah. I think it's, if I remember correctly, it started yesterday evening. You know what I mean? But yeah, Merry Christmas, Happy Kwanzaa, all that, man. And Merry Chipmas once again for anybody that's in the chip.
Mama.
The fantasy chip. But yeah, man, how's the holidays, Ron? How's it been for you so far?
I'm blessed, man. I'm blessed. I can't ask for nothing else. I'm blessed.
That's what's up, man. I mean, see, that's what the fuck I'm talking about. You know what I mean? It's the simple things, the gift of life.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, Christmas presents and shit like that, but the gift of life.
Right.
You know what I mean? Hey, my man, shout out to my man Diamond Joe. He was like, man, you be on there like a preacher sometimes, bruh. I'm like, oh, word? Like I'm too preachy? He's like, nah, man, you be bringing a good word. Because that's one of them isms right there, man. The real gift of life is life.
Mm-hmm.
The fact that we get to wake up and complain even. Ask the dead motherfucker how he feels. Can't do it. He's dead. You know what I mean? So that's a blessing in disguise. In fact, if somebody's complacent, you remind them, hey, man, you're alive right here to complain to me. It's a blessing in itself.
It's facts.
But
it's facts. Tonio said, yeah, that's the one I bought for Stu, but he passed before I could send it to him.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Okay. Yeah, man. And I could put us in a thread, the three of us, if you want to get the information to send it to Derek, man. That would be dope, man. I feel like that's a good omen. You know what I mean? Shout out to our man Stu. Rest in peace. Dude, I was glad I got to meet dude. And I was glad I really got to get to know dude for real, not just like in a working capacity, like, because anybody that knows me, like, I'll give a motherfucker a call, and I'm a motherfucker you can call as well. You know what I mean? At any time, like, you know what I'm saying? Just if I'm available, I'm picking up. You know what I mean? I'm just one of them motherfuckers. You know what I mean? And it is a great group of people that I was privileged to meet, and a lot of them I still rock with till this day. But I was, because when COVID happened, it opened up a lot of people who's doing content, and you know what I mean.
Mhm.
And yeah, although it might have saturated it, right? If you
Mhm.
knew how to navigate through it, you'll find the cool people. You know what I mean? And I was very
Yeah.
fortunate to be able to, like, you know, that's why I'm here with Guccini and you right here now, Ron. You know what I mean? I think I met you a couple years ago, right, Ron? The first time
Right.
y'all ever brought me on, well, yeah, it was years ago at this point. You
It
know what I mean?
was what?
2021, I think.
Yeah.
Because I'd already been on. And I met Ignorant Thinkers, Denny, or back in
20.
2020.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Hold on, let me turn this light on. I remember that. I thought that was fly. They're like, yeah, we can put the sensor in the thing. I said, ugh. Now I'm hella annoyed by it. Every time that motherfucker goes off, I gotta go wave my hands and shit over there just to get it to go. And I'm like, sometimes I'll be drunk, like it knows I'm drunk and it's fucking with me. I'm like, yo, I'm in the same distance that right here. And I gotta walk up. Like,
but yeah, man, I'm blessed. I got everything I ever wanted. So and they're just not at Christmas time. The whole year, you know. I'm blessed. I can't ask for nothing more, nothing less. I got a roof over my head. I got food in my refrigerator. I'm blessed. So,
Thanks, bro.
all right, now have the Atlanta Falcons been blessed with Mike Penix after the first outing? What's your thoughts? I was actually eager to ask you this.
I like it, but we should have started him after what?
The 4-pick game?
We should have started him around the Denver game.
Okay.
You know, that would have showed us. I mean, the Giants, yes, they is a football team. Yes, they is football players. But I want to see.
They suck, is what you mean.
I mean, I ain't want to say that.
We weren't throwing him the kid in the lion's den. Essentially,
Right.
It was the Giants. Yeah.
Right. So
Commando's a different story here on a Sunday.
It was like I seen everything I wanted to see from him, and he looked good. I mean,
he's deadly accurate down the field.
Yes, and he a dual threat quarterback.
Yeah, he can. Yeah, because that line, and I feel like that line, it feels rejuvenated. Like they just want to, you know how it is. Like it's the same line, but let's protect this kid a little more. He needs all the help.
Like what, Kirk Cousins, we like you and everything, but going over there, we got somebody else to do the job. And
and because Kirk Cousins was taking a shitload of hits and he was pressured at a high clip. So, you know what I mean? When you have someone like Penix who can get a little bit of mobility going, it's definitely going to help. And I've, seen him extend some of those plays and find Mooney down the field. I was like, okay, that's what I'm talking about. And he made it look easy. You know what I'm saying? Like,
he is a quick thinker. He very quick on his feet. He
got that fastball too.
Right.
He can almost throw as fast as he's thinking. I ain't gonna lie. That motherfucker did have it.
Right.
He was ripping.
He is very smart in the pocket. And I like to see that.
This is gonna be a good test here on Sunday night because it's gonna be some actual pressure coming at him.
Right.
His team's one of the most
they
have one of the highest pressure rates as far as front sevens go.
Right.
So we're gonna see because the Giants they were that team all year, one of the most pressures with sack leaders, but then they lost Ojulari and they lost Dexter Lawrence and all these. Just that line diminished real fast, and they're like, all right, let's throw Penix in there now. You know what I mean? Like,
we know Dan Quinn, Raheem Morris, know Dan Quinn.
That's a good point.
So it should be like chess. Whoever to outrun the ball because it's supposed to be raining and all that stuff.
Yeah, it's supposed to be bad weather. Like
Right.
yeah, like torrential is that what they call it?
Mm-hmm.
Sound like a
So
Bijan game.
right.
Right?
So it like whoever run the ball, they will win this game. And we got a top running back duo in the National Football League.
And then these two got and then the two runners that they got over there in Washington, they're
Right.
all fucked up right now too. You don't have Eckler, and
Right.
then Brian Robinson's been clearly banked up because he
Right.
looks like it. You know what I mean? He's fumbling all over the place.
So,
You know what I mean? And then it's really going to be Jaden Daniels. Like they can't sleep on this Atlanta team right here because it's also are they all already solidified in now?
yes.
Commandos. Okay, so they're in the post, right? But you also have the Falcons who have a chance to get into the post still.
But we got the number 1 seed in our division again because Dallas did their thing
Yeah.
against
Oh yeah,
Tampa
they
Bay.
beat Tampa. That's right.
So shout out to all the Tampa Bay fans. Thank you for losing to Dallas.
Dang, so it's wide open. And then you got Tampa against Carolina this week. Y'all got Washington. So that division is probably going to come down to week 18.
Caleb.
Right. So
But
it like we already felt Tampa Bay. So if we win against Washington, the division ours. We already beat them twice. So we just got to handle our own business and beat Washington. So
yeah, your destiny's in your guys' hands, so to speak.
yes.
Yeah. Oh, not even so to speak. It is. If you guys win out, you're in there.
Right.
So, this is a good feeling. At least you got the rookie in there on time because this is the big test. And I think if there was a caveat for him, like, you know, the fact that you guys didn't start him, you should have started him earlier, you know, should have, would have, could have stuff. The fact that it's only a second game and there's that much on the line. And like, dare I say, like the first analogy I'm thinking of is Taylor Heineke. Like when he came in late that year started the playoff game against the Buccaneers. Remember that with the Commandos? Or they were the Washington football team at the time. Right. He put up 300 yards on a team that wasn't giving up no more than 200 on average that year.
Right.
Because there was no film on the kid, though. And I think that's going to work out for Penix initially. And if you guys can get out early and run the ball, like you said, you know what I mean?
This game will show you who ready and who not ready to go to the playoffs.
Are you ready?
Because Washington just beat Philly. We beat Philly. Shout out to my co-host, Dennis Holmes.
Y'all did beat Philly, though.
So, this game, everything on the line, and it's going to be put up or shut up.
I like that we've been getting playoff environment games.
Right.
I hate that yesterday on Christmas it was playoff environment games and there were the shellackings. You know what I mean?
You know what?
But like it has been pretty cool. Even the fucking Eagles Commandos last week, full on fucking.
But I'm on the other side of that argument though, bro, because once we get back in the studio and do the weekend wrap up, I'm gonna pose this question to the fellas about, you know, who runs Christmas Day. Look like we might got a Roma Dunze touchdown right here. The question gonna be, who runs the Christmas Day, NBA or NFL? But you know, we looked at history yesterday. Lamar might have solidified himself, or he extended his argument yesterday as an MVP candidate, and then we seen fucking we're at 15-1. We see a team at 15-1 right now. So we, you know, you could say it was a shellacking for sure, but we also seen history.
You're right. We also saw the MVP and the best team in the entire league play. So,
% bro.
So
right.
To me,
I mean, selfishly, because all my fantasy guys didn't do what I needed them to do.
To me, the NBA is number 2.
Oh,
I think. See, here's the thing. I think with the NBA, this is a world audience, right?
Mm-hmm.
Football rules the United States.
Mm-hmm.
So I think when they look at ratings in the US, it's always going to be football destroying everything.
But it's funny you say that because it was vice versa. When I was coming up, the NBA was the shit. Like, you had to watch that NBA on Christmas. Like,
Yeah, but NFL never was invading Christmas like that till this last like 6-7 years.
right.
You know
So
what I mean?
it like, I just speaking for
NBA,
myself.
NFL barely started invading Christmas. I mean, Saturdays too during
Right.
the end during the end of the year, like December.
Right.
They start doing Saturday joints
Right.
because they don't want to fuck with the college football, right?
Right.
Like, but now they're getting full Vince McMahon, where it's like I'm going into other territories now.
What?
You know what I mean?
But no, how you just said, my bad, Ryan.
Yeah. With money on the line, man, these apps pay you, I would do the same thing. I'd be like, y'all to get those shitty games. Y'all to get the Pittsburgh and Kansas City. Y'all to get Houston and Baltimore. We don't care. We getting paid from it.
Yeah.
It like, we don't care.
And that's the thing though, like how Bogey said that the NBA is a world game and they get the ratings out the world,
Right.
and all that shit too. But like how you said yesterday, everybody got Netflix, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
right.
And so for the NFL to start transferring or transitioning to also having, because they streaming everywhere. Streaming is what the real is.
Exactly.
Cable shit is dying out slowly
Right.
but surely, or maybe rapidly, however you want to look at
And
it.
you know what's
Right.
crazy is that those TV deals, the fact that these streaming platforms are battling these TV deals now, it's bad
Is
for the networks because also this is how they get their bazillions for these organizations, right?
Main networks ain't gonna go nowhere though. CBS, Fox, and NBC, they're
not gonna go nowhere. They'll just
Right.
eventually they have their own streaming things too. You know what I mean?
In my opinion, I don't think it's a battle no more. Because if you look at it, when you stream, you the same money. Everybody loves to save money. You to put money in your pockets.
Yeah.
You to pay for how much cable now? What?
I pay $200 a month because my girl still don't want to cut the cable.
Right.
Yes.
I pay $180 a month.
Oh my mama, that's where I was
Yeah,
at.
I pay $200. I actually pay
got said
$220 to be exact.
Right. So I got said like this. So if you look at all these streaming services, Netflix, Prime,
I got all of those too. That's the funny thing. I'm a crazy person.
Prime, and you look at all these networks, it's cheaper to go over there than
It really is.
Comcast or.
Here's my thing. Sports is the only thing I actually try to watch live. Everything else I watch at my own leisure. So I always tell my girl, even like the way I like to record stuff. I'm like, we could do that on a YouTube thing. You could just save things and it'll be like everything is gonna be there. Even like YouTube TV. Like then I get who's like Steamboat talking about. Listen, he has a whole like 2 years now under his belt with the YouTube TV. He's like, it's the way to go, bro. He's like, saves hella money.
Oh my mama.
So how I want to ask y'all. I know y'all love the 49ers today. Do y'all think it's about time Shanahan get fired?
No, you know why?
Why?
Because we have we go back to 2017. That was his first year. Right? That first year, every game we lost was by a possession or less, right?
Right.
2018 comes around. It's promising, but then we lose Jimmy to an ACL in week 2 or 3, or week 3 against the Chiefs. Then, you know what I'm saying? And even in that fashion, there was only a few games that we lost by more than a possession, but most of them were by possession or less. 2019 now, we get to the Chiefs. What up, Banks? We get to the chip, and then we get to 2020, and now it's poach season. Every year he's getting staff taken away, and every year we've been successful. This year, the injuries on top of that, but then it's also I didn't like the hiring of man, I always forget his name because he's not rememberable. Yeah, thank you.
Nick Sorensen.
Nick Sorensen. There you go. See, because if I don't remember you, you're not memorable. And like, so I think they're gonna stop fooling around and get some real coordinators there. Because this is also another thing too. Is like, what would that mean if they ever moved on from Shanny? And when they extended him going into this year, or it was last year. Either way, he's locked in. But what would it look like if they did fire him? Is it the whole regime now? Because he's one of those rarities where they hired him and he brought in the guy to be the GM. You know what I mean?
Right. But we say it all the time. You bring in your buddy who you play golf with, instead of bringing in some real people.
Uncle. It's like a godfather more than anything.
Right.
Pop L's boy. You know what I mean?
If y'all fired Shanahan, it's two coaches I want y'all to think about. The coach from Detroit, the offense.
Ben Johnson.
You
know what they would do too? They would just hire Shanahan, I'm sure. They would bring him in.
But the problem is every system is not made for everybody.
Yeah, like even if you look at the Niners, we're like, okay, they went to Sorensen because he's a product of our former coaching staff that was there.
Right.
He's a product of the Sala, D'Amico Ryans, right?
Right.
But because we're built to be physical, right? You know what I'm saying? On defense, there's nothing finesse about our defense.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? We don't have them shut down corners that are tacticians and shit like that. We have everyone's hitters, and like the corners that we do have, they benefit from our front giving so much pressure that we get disrupted passes their way. Here's the thing: we don't have anyone opposite this year. It used to be that dope where like Nick Bosa and then our interior. Then on the other side of Nick Bosa, we could put anyone there and they're going to get 8-9 sacks. I mean, it used to be like that. It's not like that anymore. You know what I mean? Like,
you can't say that. You made a good point. You can't say that because Chase Young situation.
But look at where Chase Young's been his whole career.
Right.
You know what I mean? Anywhere he's been, he's not the guy that he was supposed to be coming out of college. You know what I mean?
To me, and I talked to
in the Super Bowl, and we're not pressuring Patrick Mahomes when we have Nick Bosa and Chase Young. I still have a problem with that.
I talked to him about it,
and that was my bad to cut you off real quick. That was when we brought in Steve Wilkes, and we tried to go that route. This guy is a DB minded guy, and here we are. We have a machine that's built from the front to the back, not the back to the front. You know what I mean? And then I feel like the hire for him was like, let's make our secondary better because our front's automatically good. And then we just stopped. Then our pressure rate drops, but we were still, up there in sack totals because we're just that good. But it was like, why are we not pressuring against Mahomes in overtime? Like, what the fuck was that? You know what I mean? Like,
well, to me, I like Chase Young, but he gave up a long time ago.
He might not got it.
Right.
Yeah.
No, he want the easy way out. He don't want to work hard for it. He want the easy way.
He was this is why I do like Nick Bosa, because you don't really hear Nick Bosa being complacent about shit outside of when he wanted to get his money, but he knew he deserved it.
Yeah.
And the reason he didn't get his money early, like he was a guy you would have extended early, but he tore his ACL. So we definitely milked that shit all the way down, you know what I mean? To year 5 even, you know what I mean?
If you look at everybody who Washington had, Montez Fred, Chase Young, Payne, the D tackle.
Montez Sweat ain't doing shit with the fucking Bears anymore this year. He was killing it when they traded for him last year.
But once again, who they got over there?
Beginning, yeah.
Who they got over there?
They got Matt Eberflus.
No, on that defensive line.
Oh, I mean, it's just him. You know, they got Jermaine Dexter in the interior.
Okay, so if you
you
take away, if you take away the guy, and you don't got nobody else to step up, you're not gonna look so good either.
Yeah, circa 2024 Nick Bosa.
Right.
Like just him alone, and then you just take him out, double team him, tight end and ship him.
Right. Like,
but that's
you will not be that guy because they know you're strong. And like playing Madden. We all play Madden. Yes or no? If I know
played Madden since the Mike Vick one when he was.
If I know y'all like to send the blitz on the left side, I would make sure the coach has somebody there on the left side every time. Mm-hmm. That's what they doing to him in Chicago. They'll be like, you know what? Take him out of the game.
Yeah. Because then, like, Taylor, I think that's their other guy that they traded for from Seahawks. He's on the other side. Like one big game this year.
Right, you know he will not do nothing. Just take the main guy out of the game. Montez Fett, he's the main guy right now. So you take him out of the game, double team him, nobody else over there eating. We see that tonight.
We got Big Bro Kidda in the building. What's up, Big Bro Kid of Gang Green?
What's happening?
So you touch away the main guy. Who else they got over there to step up to be the man?
Well, see what us is like. Bogey alluded to it earlier about
losing our interior too.
The interior defensive line. You know what I mean? When it was Defoe and it was in my boy Sacramento or Eric Armstead.
Yeah,
in the rotation.
Eric with an A.
And DJ Jones. DJ Jones got paid too from the Denver Broncos.
Yeah, the year that we got rid of Buckner, DJ Jones stepped up, not Kinlaw. And then it's like we have Kinlaw. Why are we going to pay DJ Jones? So he parlayed that to an actual decent bag with Denver. You know what I mean?
With Denver, 100%. So that's my thing. See, like with that was one thing that we had with Salah and D'Amico Ryans.
Well, these guys will produce. They were overproducing on top of being good.
100%. Them is facts, but also on top of that, the D'Amico and the Salah era is also tied into like how Bogey was talking about when Shanahan first came in 2017 and she started getting plucked off. But we also got to remember in 2017 when he came, he completely turned over the fucking complete roster. Yeah. It was like 25, 30, maybe even close to 40 new players on that roster. So in a 7-year period, fuck with excuse my language, but fuck what people is talking about firing him, because in a 7-year period from where he started in 17 to where we had in 2024, even though we don't got the ultimate end all be all, but yet we've been there twice on top of being in 4 NFC championships in a 7-year period. Like, come on now, the hate lightweight is real though. You know what I mean? So
and here's
and then also
not only the hate. Oh, go ahead.
You know, and during the season, life happened with 2 of the players. You got to understand, Shanahan is a young bull. You know what I mean? He might look older than a motherfucker this season, but
he's only like 46,
but 45 years old. Trent Williams is 30-some years old. So for life to happen to his players, you know what I mean, man, that shit hurt. You know what I mean? One took a bullet, a couple of them, you know what I mean? We ain't even
literal bullet.
You know what I mean?
But
bro, 100%.
But that's where the draft come in at.
Man, they have missed on players, but a lot of the players that have been big names for them and have stepped up have all been late round picks. So the draft, I understand that. Nick Bosa is probably like one of the only first round picks that really had just, you know what I mean? We ain't that's, you know,
I looked into this. There's Nick Bosa
later on. A lot of our players, like Hargrave, is a free agent signing. You know what I mean? Charvarius Ward is a free agent signing. Other than that, it ain't everything.
And then the guys that hit like Hufanga Or
Tell me this.
Dre Greenlaw,
People
Fred
hate
Warner.
this narrative about the Niners and all that because they not doing what they doing. Okay, it's football, but the little sidebar about that bullshit, come on now, let's really think about what I mean, what they really been doing and what they built. And one more thing,
Let me say this
about Chicago before you jumped on, Ron, and we gonna see how Chicago gonna go. Is they gonna go culture builder, or is they gonna go somebody to help Caleb? Right? Say what you want to say. Shanahan and John Lynch and Parag, whatever brand name, they built a fucking culture.
They built a culture, yeah.
I feel say that you're right.
40 new players.
You're right. I've been watching y'all for 5 years. I've been watching the 49ers for 5 years. I told my homegirl, Deborah, she a 49er fan.
Out to Deborah.
5 years ago.
Gang member.
And she wanted to talk your ears in the comments. I said, Deborah, y'all coming. This before the season started. I said, I seen what Shanahan doing over there. I know how Shanahan get down. We had Shanahan. She was like, really? I said, yes, y'all coming. That same year, y'all went to y'all first Super Bowl.
You know what, too, big bro? And we can't get on him for being arrogant about not addressing the offensive line. 100%. We can be arrogant. We can get on him for about being arrogant about the defensive coordinators that he has picked ever since the first two left. You know what I mean? We could get on him about the secondary woes, 100%. We can get on him about something like I said, the Hargrave signing. That's not looking like a good signing right now.
But then there's the fact that they'll draft the literal Mr. Irrelevant, the last guy in the draft. And then shout out to my man Kidda that was in the chat, fellow playmaker on the show, Jen Welter through and through. He always said about the Brock when he saw this footage, he was like, he was sold on the Brock because the footage was him getting that phone call. And it was Lynch and Shanahan. They were like, look, there's a plan for you. You're not just Mr. Irrelevant. Like, you know what I'm saying? And like, I remember that year when Trey Lance, it's his Trey Lance sophomore year. So he's set. He's going to be the guy. It's 2022. He's going to be the guy. So they're being very careful with him in the preseason. He's treating him like the starter. They were really taking a look hard because who's going to be the 3 that year. Because it was because they loved the Brock so much, but then they also had Nate Sudfeld, who was killing it all year in camp. And they're like, okay, we're going to put them in real game action. And then the Brock eventually was the guy they ended up retaining.
To me, I don't think y'all gave Trey Lance enough time.
Well, here's what I think with I can agree with this, but here's what I think with Trey Lance is that is a guy that might cost you your job. So, like going back to answer your question, if you said about the fire, is it time to consider firing Shanahan? I'll say no, because they're going to pay the Brock, and this is who his career is going to be hitched to. You know what I mean?
But
Shanahan is hitched to the Brock now because it took 7 years. They have their guy that could be the guy that makes or breaks Shanahan's career with the Niners.
But tell me this. All those weapons y'all got.
Getting old.
Y'all got Debo.
There's some youngsters there.
Y'all got Debo Samuel.
Yeah.
Not wide receiver. Y'all got the Ayuk.
And then we got Ricky Bullets.
Right. And y'all got one of the best tight end in the game that I seen in a long ass time. So my question to y'all, do y'all weapons make y'all quarterback, or do the quarterback make y'all weapons?
So
I
love this. I'm ready to have this debate right here. You ready?
I want y'all to think about it before y'all answer the question.
I've already thought about this, so I'm going to jump right out here. This year, that was the conversation. And we saw him play without a full array of weapons a lot this year. The bad games he's had was the weather games. And then you look at the other games where he didn't have his weapons, like that first game against the Rams, But actually, every game he's playing against the Rams, the games against the Seahawks, you know what I mean? He's still out there balling without the CMCs, without the Brandon Ayuk's. So I liked seeing that when he could go out there, put up 300 yards, or
Right.
get mobile with his legs. You know what I'm saying? Even if it's not a play that was called for his legs, you know what I'm saying? He would see that everyone's dropped back, his man coverage, boom, I'm running. You know what I mean? Like this is him. We got to see a lot of him. And with an expanded knowledge of the playbook now, because Shanahan's thing, I think that's what when it goes back now double back to the Trey Lance. Trey Lance just might have been stupid. You know what I mean? You get in there, you're like, this guy don't get it. You know what I mean?
Sometimes it takes a quarterback a couple years to get
exactly. And he had 3 years there with nothing but time to watch and study because his own injuries keeping him off the field.
Every system don't fit a quarterback.
That's true. And like I think the perception on Trey Lance going to the Niners initially was that this is going to be RG3 on steroids. You know what I mean? Because we saw Shanny have mobile QBs before and do very well. You know what I mean?
Think. And this is my opinion. I think Shanahan, you would get the best out of Shanahan. It's a pocket quarterback.
Yeah,
Matt Ryan.
Some of the rumors were that Shanahan truly wanted Mac Jones because Mac Jones played under Steve Sarkisian, who essentially adopted the entire Shanahan playbook in place of Shanny when he left to the Niners.
Right.
And Mac Jones had success with it. You know, it's a wide zone scheme, play action, all the shit. It was really, you know what I mean? Mac Jones was good. So
to be honest with you, Shanahan wanted Kirk Cousins a long time ago.
He did. He wanted Kirk Cousins that year, and then he was trying to get Brady also, and that eventually turned into the Jimmy thing. You know what I mean?
Right.
And the Jimmy thing, what's crazy is like,
well, also they was forcing Bill's hand with the Tom Brady and Jimmy thing. So we lucked up with the Jimmy thing and the Jimmy experience. You know, when Jimmy
wasn't bad. Jimmy wasn't great though.
Jimmy, because you got to remember, we were dead in the water before Jimmy came. 100%. So Shanahan made the best of what he could with bro.
Right.
100%.
Right. But I think y'all would get the best out of your head coach if he had a pocket quarterback. The year
Brock is that. I will argue the Brock is that. But in today's day and age, you know what I'm saying? And it's also like, okay, what I like about the Brock is not only it's that I've seen his trajectory. You know what I mean? People will look at the wins, losses this year and then be like, oh, he's, you know what I mean? They shouldn't pay him. I'm kind of glad for this year for the football side of it. Because this year we might get him. If we were getting into the playoffs, 65 fucking million. Fuck that. Maybe we get him for a smooth 50. And this is actually, we can still keep the band together. And this going back to what I'm saying now, what I said earlier, I mean, is that to tie in what I'm saying now is that with Shanny there, and we pay the Brock, say we give him whatever 50 million or 55, whatever it is. Moving forward, this is gonna what ties his existence with the Niners. He's because they're hitching the wagon finally to a guy. You know what I mean?
But how do you know he is the right guy? Like I mean by that, our quarterback now
he's been the most consistent with Shanahan.
But
in the 49er experience,
in his first sample size, 6 games, and including the playoffs, he takes them to the NFC Championship, gets hurt in the NFC Championship, and has to have surgery on that throwing elbow, takes him to the playoffs. Then the 3rd year was the fucking Super Bowl. Now here's the 4th year. It's time to pay his motherfucking ass. 100%. He showed he is the guy, but also they have to also get ready for the future with we're moving on with some of these older ass players, 100%. That some of these older ass players like Kittle, he's coming back next year, 100%. Debo might take a little bit of a pay cut to run it back, 100%. You know what I mean? They just got to get better on that offensive line. And that fucking defensive line, 100%. Shavarius Ward, I think, is a free agent after this year. So, you know, that's another piece that has to be solved. Now you get a healthy Greenlaw back. You know what I mean? There's been pieces that, you know, have been rotating 100%. So, yeah, I think they're going to be all right. And I think he is the guy, 100%, bro.
If you look at the year the Falcons went to the Super Bowl, Shanahan told Matt Ryan, he questioned Matt Ryan, look, do what I tell you to do. If not, you're going to be on the sideline.
Mm-hmm.
And that the year we went to the Super Bowl, yes, we lost 28-3. Everybody and Ray Charles to see that. But Matt Shanahan got out the best of Matt Ryan. That's why I said, y'all need a pocket quarterback. Right.
You know, he did very well with Matt Schaub. He even had, dare I say, Brian Hoyer 7-1 that second year with Cleveland. But then Brian Hoyer tore his ACL like on a Thursday night on a short weekend. He was against the EJ Manuel led Bills. And I remember this because it was like they used to do the breast cancer awareness month, so they're all wearing like the pink trim joints. And it was on a rollout or a bootleg, if I remember correctly, where he started running for it, bro, and then someone hit him and he fucking tore his shit, bro. But see, he was playing very well. Like, you know, like I knew when I saw Flash Gordon play well, or AJ John, or what's his name? Is it AJ? Was it AJ Johnson? No, that's the comedian. Andre Johnson. Right? I knew fucking once he got with Julio's going to be a 1,400-yard guy. You know what I mean? It just, you know, Shanahan's system is tried and true, and he has multiple playbooks where like he knows how to emphasize the personnel that he has, and like definitely the pocket QBs in history have fared better. I mean, look at Jimmy. Jimmy played very well. His ADOT was his career ADOT with us was like 8 yards.
Right.
So he wasn't stretching the field, but we called the playbook was designed, or not designed. The playbook he utilized was to highlight, you know, Jimmy's strengths. You know what I mean?
So I feel like Shanahan is a beast as a play caller.
Yeah, but then get him the head coaching at the same time. You're saying,
right? I feel like he got too much on his plate right now. Like, he's the head coach and the OC.
You want to know what Sean McVay did correctly, in my opinion? Is that, first of all, he ripped off the best, right? He ripped off Shanny Tough. But then when he first got his first gig, here's what, this all jokes aside, what McVay did correct was he hired Wade Phillips as the DC.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like, so he went and got an OG savvy vet who was fucking killing shit in the game. Like, he was fresh off of Denver being where they cleaned house over there. Remember that?
Mm-hmm.
And they weren't too far removed from winning the Super Bowl with Manning. That was like 2 years prior to that.
Mm-hmm.
So like Sean McVay in that first season, whenever the defense was on the field, he was literally with his back turned most of the time talking to the offense.
Mm-hmm.
Because he had this other OG that could just take care of biz until he learned the ropes. By 2018, they got into the Super Bowl. He lost. Then he got rid of Wade Phillips. He's like, all right, I got this all the way now. You know what I mean?
But sometimes you need that person to be there longer than what you think.
I mean, you know, Sean McVay, you know, I think he's a great ripoff artist because he's stolen some of the best. You know what I mean? Some of the best.
Do y'all know Sean McVay, Shanahan? He got
game from the Grudens, both Grudens.
Right, they came from Washington.
Both Shanahans.
Right.
He got game from both. He got game from Wade Phillips now too. Like I'll give it up to Sean McVay. He's a studious.
It
Lerner.
right. It was Sean McVay, Shanahan, Raheem Morris, and somebody else were at Washington. Did y'all know that? With that had RG3?
Yeah, come on. I talk about this all the time. They had,
So-
when they had the Shannies there. You had McVay,
My
LaFleur.
head coach, Raheem Morris.
Yeah, all
so-
of them were there.
Right.
Mike
that-
McDaniels,
Uh-huh.
Zach Taylor.
So they all know each
LaFleur.
other. They all think.
Yeah. They're all
like-
gang. They've been in each
Right.
other's weddings for real. They're all
So-
groomsmen in each other's weddings. They're all boys for real. Like they
Right.
probably all hate each other now. You know, I ain't gonna lie to you.
Uh,
Because
so
they've all
I
been
got a
in the
feeling. I got a feeling y'all will do something that all season will set the whole NFL on fire.
I don't know. I don't see it because I think what you're indicating is like we're in a clean house with the.
I don't think y'all will clean house. I think y'all will add another pass rush.
Oh, I thought you meant getting rid of Shanahan.
No.
Yeah, I think the key is the trenches because
Right.
we're gonna run it back with the core that we have and on as far as weaponry. We need the trench. We need to beef up the trenches, and in order. I don't see us going offensive line that early. We're gonna try to hit that in value rounds, and we're gonna try to go like because that's what we got to do. We can't fuck around and go with these Drake Jacksons of the world where we think we're gonna hit on some pass rusher in the third round. Like, and not to say that that's not possible, but like. Man, I would like to go high end on the pass rush and have someone opposite Bosa because he's paid. And let's go get.
Me personally, I think y'all will get Bosa brother over there.
They always talk about that too. I'm okay with it. I don't like it at all though, because you know what that feels like is like just bringing over the Chargers woes. And like, here's another thing is like, I thought this was going to happen this past offseason because we brought over bum ass Staley.
Well,
you know what I mean?
If you look at it, they know each other.
That's true. And
they know how to play off of each other.
At that point, I'd rather bring in like Khalil Mack or something. You know what I mean?
See, I don't think Khalil Mack will.
Khalil Mack's like a 60% snap guy at maximum. At this point.
I don't think he would do well over there. You see what I'm saying?
I get what you're saying because then also to the fact you got the fact that he'll be with his brother.
Right.
He'll be able to hit the ground running. He probably stay with his brother.
Right.
He need to fucking buy a crib or do
They play off of each other so well to the point that you be like, who are going to take out of the game? If I take him out, his brother would get me. If I take him out, his brother would get me. So who will I take out? It's going to be like that for y'all. I could see that right now.
I could see us getting like a Travion Walker. If like, well, when was Travion Walker drafted? Actually, hold on.
See,
he was drafted the same year as Aiden Hutchinson. So never mind. Because I don't see the Jags paying him. He hasn't done too much. Just maybe, man. I don't know if we're gonna address it in free agency as much as like because I feel like we're definitely gonna try to address that in the draft. And it's about the money that we're not gonna have also, you know what I mean? So we're gonna have to go elder pass rusher, which would be Joey fucking Bosa.
Well, if you look at it,
unless we're drafting young.
If you look at how much money y'all would have.
Yeah, well, see, that's the thing is because we're gonna pay the Brock. And then there's going to be a lot of restructures going on, like George Kittle for sure is going to get restructured. Debo's probably going to get restructured and everyone's automatically booting Debo. I think he's there for one more year. I think he's a career guy with us, to be honest.
See, I think Debo is an I guy or a me guy. What I mean by that, he all by himself.
No, I get what you're saying.
And the win in the NFL, you don't need no me guy. You need a we guy. In my opinion.
I don't know. I would see. I get what you're saying, but I could also like Like if I was Debo's lawyer right now in this argument, I would say, well, he's definitely a we guy because we saw him carry an entire load when he had to back in 2021. And he was receiver 2 overall, only behind the Triple Crown Cooper Cup that year.
Right.
Right.
And we
And like,
also see he beat up. No, he went after y'all punter. So that,
yeah,
like, right.
yeah,
They're
yes,
like,
and then at the same time too, like I know it's like going back to what JD was highlighting earlier, that Shani is young,
right,
or like you know what I'm saying, like him and Debo, they kick it tough. You know what I mean? Like when Debo was kicking off and getting paid, he made, you know, he pushed for Debo to get, you know, to be one of the highest paid at that moment. You know what I mean? To
right.
get his security. But then also too, Shanahan was also the one to say, well, yeah, this year, you know, that's out the way. You know, we're gonna get him in a you know real off season, and that was, you know, last year, and he went out there and did his thing. You know what I mean? Like, because then look at this year, Ayuk's trying to get his money. If anything, I think Ayuk's more of a me guy than anything.
See,
Debo demanding the money that he wanted was very, very team friendly as far as like what he was doing. You know what I mean? Because he was carrying like literally, I think he had 100 and something carries that year. You know what I mean? Like, so you know what I mean? That was you know, that to get a dual threat kind of guy like that paid, I felt like that's another example of why he's not a me guy. Granted, he was like tied for 5th highest paid once he got paid,
right,
which is still, yeah, because he was a top 5 guy. Because then
right.
even Cooper Cup at the age he was at, Cooper Cup, he couldn't demand to be, you know, when he got extended instead of
Right.
versus getting like this big old crazy bag on top of the extend. You know what I mean? He just,
Dude,
anyways,
dude,
Ayuk, same thing happened with Ayuk's kind of circa Debo that year, that after 2021, 2022, Debo was fell off the map. You know what I'm saying? And it kind of sucked that happened because
right.
he had a whole entire offseason that he was just fighting for his money. We saw this literally happen to
Dude,
Ayuk this year.
if I finna ask y'all this,
Mm-hmm.
who will you want more, Debo or Ayuk?
I mean, the choice is kind of made because Ayuk's paid now.
Right.
And who would I rather have? Ayuk, because we finally have a QB. Because here's the thing with Debo. I love Debo for everything he can do. And Debo can go down the field. But
Yeah.
he's getting elder. And the reason why he was the shit is because of the type of quarterbacks we had with Jimmy,
Right.
who's he's gonna like Debo's ADOT in his career going into 2021 was 4 yards. So we had 2
Right.
years of Debo at that point. He had a 4-year career ADOT, right? A 4 yard. So once you get with someone like the Brock, you can actually stretch the field. You know what I mean? And this is why this year was important, because our offensive line wasn't the greatest, and also our defense wasn't the greatest. So we saw him have to deal with shit like playing from behind and playing under pressure. So Ayuk, I mean, look at, no one's gonna say Jennings is the world beater, but man, he had Jennings balling this year. You know what I mean? And last year, yeah. So I do like that because it's not like I think Jennings is the most talented. I think what Ayuk brings to the table, and I mean, we already got a 1,400 yard season out of Ayuk with a full year of the Brock. You know what I mean?
But once again, if you were the GM or the head coach,
it would have been Ayuk because because looking at the age and what we're paying Debo. Or it would have been like, because like I said, this offseason, they're going to be like, Debo, we're restructuring you. And Debo's going to be like, okay, if he wants to stay.
Right.
Because if he doesn't want to stay, then they're going to release him. You know what I mean? Or if and when they can't trade him. Because we're never going to get, because the trade would also assume it's a contract dump.
I feel like Debo always get injured at the wrong time for y'all. Like, if you look at
or late.
if you look at, I think y'all first Super Bowl, he got injured. What, in the NFC Championship game? I think.
Yeah, he
Or
got banged up.
right.
And then CMC was already limping into the playoffs
Right.
to begin
So
with.
it like
Yeah.
you cannot depend on Debo because he was banged up.
Yeah, so like I feel like if there is a Debo retention, right, and he stays, I think we will see a limited. We won't see an 80% snap Debo because we do have a fucking going into his sophomore year with a pretty much bust of a rookie year receiver. Like we already have to chalk that rookie year up for a loss because he got shot and he was late to get on. He showed some flashes against the game against Tampa, but like everyone kills Tampa this year because their secondary has been depleted. So it's not like even when I look back at that, we're doing fantasy show. And that next week, people were like, "Oh, Ricky, he's the guy. He's the future." I'm like, he's the future, but not in this future as in this next week. Like, he just tore up the Buccaneers. Everyone relax.
So it's like,
you know what I mean?
When I need a big play to happen and I cannot depend on Debo, then that telling me,
you want to
you
know?
might not be the guy.
Here's what sucks about Debo too is like Debo's almost always hurt because he'll play hurt. When he's really hurt, that's when he misses games, right? So, for example, we finally got him healthy, the healthiest he's been all year. He busts a big one against the Dolphins last week. You know what I mean?
But
that's the type of Debo shit that we're accustomed to.
Right, but
he's
it's
not
like
healthy. When he's healthy, you know what I mean?
Right, but that every once in a while. They're not every. You see what I'm saying?
He's gonna be
a wide receiver. I did count on no matter what. And to me, I like IU. I like Brandon IU. That he is a beast in my eyes.
Yeah.
He could be a number one.
He's a great route runner.
Right.
Good hands.
Right. He could be a number one wide receiver on any team in the NFL.
He's like DeAndre Hopkins without the speed one because DeAndre Hopkins had.
And what about Ayuk is that 75 catches got him 1,300 yards. He does a lot with a little. I mean, he doesn't get with 150 targets and shit like that. 170,
and that's just the nature of that offense when we were winning.
Right,
there's not.
But he's able to
Brock throw.
He's able to have a 17 yard per catch. He's able to average a 17 yard per catch. Season, you know what I mean, because he's able to do what he needs to do in a 50-50.
And we have plenty of examples of Shanahan where his ex is going to eat like that, like with Flash Gordon, with Julio Jones, in this with Andre Johnson with the Texans, and in this case with IU. Like, you know what I mean? Like the ex is going to be a factor.
To me, IU, I would go with him no matter what. I'll be like, you know what, Debo? You want star fights? You want to mess with the kicker over here? You want to be a drama queen over here? I'll betray you in a heartbeat. That's just me, though.
Here's the thing: what we're also almost gonna, like I said, Debo's lawyer right now, right? I'm a doctor, but I'm gonna play lawyer right now. I don't know if anyone that doesn't know, I am a doctor. I'm not playing. But anyways, I definitely love that he in the off season because he lives in San Jose, right? Shout out to Debo and shout out to my man Big Benko Franco. I just throw his name out there because that's his alias name. But like, say he goes and kicks it over there, and he be saying like Debo is the spot for all the players. He does all the barbecues, and I'll see it on the Instagram, all the shit, the stories. You know what I'm saying? Even when Trey Lance was all fucked up in the wheelchair, you usually see Trey Lance there at the barbecue in the wheelchair. Like, everybody kicks it, and they've even had some special appearances where Shannon will pull up. You know what I mean? Like, his spot is the spot. This is why I feel like he's a career guy he's a one team guy. You know what I mean? But unless there's like, one of the disciples want him. Like, for example, we already saw the Texans go ahead and bring in a Stephon Diggs, like it was a 1-year thing. So they could be, because they know they know the grit, the type of player he is. But I feel like it's gonna have to be one of the Shanahan disciples that trades for him or picks him up if we get rid of him. You know what I mean? Or if we
it could be. Let me say this: it could be Tennessee.
I'm not mad at that. I mean, they got the former Bengals squad over there,
right?
Where the terminologies, because you had the Zach Taylor thing.
Right.
Zach Taylor is definitely a product of all of both Shanny and McVay.
If you look at the way Tennessee built, I could see they calling y'all right now. Hey, what's up with Debo? We give y'all
Chig Okonkwo and some picks.
What we give y'all a 4th round pick. I just saying off the top of
they can give us Jeff. They might even fuck around and be like, who's that? Who do they go after? Brown, Dominique Brown? No, not that's the receiver. What's his name? Something Brown, Derek Brown, the passer.
David Brown.
Who is it?
The D tackle.
It's the D tackle, right? What's his name? Brown?
David Brown.
Yeah, he's not a DE. Derek Brown. I would even take Jeffrey Simmons. You know what I mean?
But
you know who I would take? Pause. First of all, but Harold Landry too. Like they got some pieces over there.
That's what I'm saying. They got pieces. And how many draft picks do y'all have right now?
I don't know, maybe like 4.
Okay, let's just say they offer y'all a 3rd and 4th for Debo.
I mean, at that point,
it's a hell of a deal right there for a 29-year-old receiver, but he's still got gas in the tank though. But
I don't think here's why I don't think Tennessee does that. If Tennessee does that, that means they really have a young QB there, right? Because they're already kind of doing that with the other old timers. They try to bring in Nuke, then they brought in Calvin Ridley.
Mm-hmm.
So like I feel like if this happens, it's because they get another young QB in there, and you have to put weapons around him. You know what I mean?
See,
Levis. I mean, unless you tell me they're like we gotta get Debo for Levis because we need him to have more weapons to see what we really got. Like
that's what I'm saying. I think that would put more weapons around him to really see if he gonna have the Sam Donald year, like Sam Donald having this year, or is he having?
Yeah, I think they're done with him, bro. They just benched him for a career backup in Mason Rudolph. So I think Levis is done, bro.
I mean, he might be done, but what I'm saying, definitely see what they to get out of the quarterbacks they got over there.
Excuse me.
Like this past season, we just say, oh, they don't got no weapons over there. Who can we name over there? Besides Calvin Ridley.
Hold on, my man, NWI, bro.
Nick Westbrook Akine.
Come on, nah, you know.
But right, who the wide receiver over there?
I think it's more likely because that regime just came from the Bengals last year.
Mm-hmm.
That's why they brought in Boyd.
They'll probably bring over Higgins, bro. You know what I mean? Like I feel like because Higgins that's a spot where he can go and get the absolute bag. You know what I mean?
Right, but so that's what I'm saying. And you
probably get 30 million over there for real, and like Higgins probably doesn't deserve that, but that's where he can go to get that. You know what I mean?
If you put Calvin Ridley,
Carolina,
and Higgins over there,
New England.
Right.
If you
want to talk about familiarity of a system,
money in New England,
but Higgins, this is the system Higgins played in for his whole career until
you bring in T. Higgins and the boy from the Heisman Trophy winner, what Brett Young Bull name is. Please forgive me, I'm burnt out. Travis. If you bring in T. Higgins and the young bull T. Hunter, 100%. That's a damn.
Because Debo, here's the thing with Debo too. I don't think Debo necessarily fits that scheme, so to speak, because that scheme wants to stretch the field. If it's Levis, they're stretching the field. If it's Levis,
even
for what it's worth, Levis was going. He was shooting it out, like because that's what they want to do in that system. and I hate that I gotta compare it to their time with Joe Burrow, but this is what they're doing, and in the familiarity with the system. Now that you have the Callahans over there, I feel like that's where Higgins would go to get his big ass back because they ain't paying nobody over there.
But once again, do you want the system or do you want the money?
See,
but
this is where he because of the system
contract. If I'm looking at my second contract, I want the money right now because why? Leaving. If T. Higgins, if it was about
Higgins played in the Super Bowl already,
100%. And one thing about the New England play, we got to remember, New England was highly rumored in the Brandon Ayuk stakes already. So that was coming into the season after they drafted that quarterback, 100%. So they already in play for a big time wide receiver already, bro.
I'm glad you said that because I thought he was going to Washington.
Who's
Higgins or Ayuk? Yeah,
Ayuk.
Yeah, but because Ayuk there's the correlation.
Because his homeboy Daniels, the quarterback.
And the GM.
And that's very common in the league.
And the GM too.
And the GM came from the Niners.
Right.
Yeah.
So that's why I
GM,
thought
for the Washington.
If y'all watch the pivot, man.
I catch little cut-ups here and there.
Man, he was on the pivot. He kept on looking at Daniels. I was like, oh, he finna go Washington. Daniels was right there in the background.
But see, here's the thing though. Daniels, that's his boy for real.
Right. So
on top of the fact that they played together.
Right. At LSU. So I was like, oh, he finna go Washington. He don't want to say he's going to Washington.
They played together in like Arizona, I think it was.
But if you look at the pivot, when he was on the pivot, he kept on doing like this.
Yeah, I remember seeing the cut-ups of that.
Man, I'm like, oh, he wanted to go to Washington.
He was posturing a lot in there because he was. Here's the thing, even Debo went through that same thing. Like, remember the moms posted a video and it went viral. So the Debo's mom, she posted a video where she's filming the baby, her grandbaby. She's like, yeah, this is my grandbaby, right? But the reason she posted is because in the background on FaceTime, first of all, it's a FaceTime video. Right. And on the background is Debo on FaceTime with AJ Brown. So he's like, hey, bro. First of all, he said, hey, blood, just like this. Hey, blood, they ain't even trying to pay me. The AJ said, for real, blood? He's like, yeah. And he's like, no, it's vice versa. I'm sorry. It was AJ Brown was like, hey, blood, they ain't even finna pay me.
Yeah, they got the same agent.
Yeah, he was talking about Tennessee, right? Mm-hmm. And then Debo goes, damn, for real, blood? He's like, man, they gotta pay me. Fuck that. They better pay me. He's like, they tell me the same shit though, bruh, that they want me to, you know what I mean? It's this whole conversation going on.
Right.
And then shit goes viral. And because, and he had stopped following the Niners, all this shit. He got his bread. Even with the Ayuk thing, I kept saying this whole offseason while everyone's like, what do you think they're going to do? They're going to trade? I'm like, we all stayed true, bro. Me, JD. Of course, we definitely broke down all the rumors and all the landing spots and everything, you know what I mean? But we stayed true, like, no, we finna pay them. This is what the Niners do. They weight it down, they make it annoying, and then they eventually pay their guys. They did this with Bosa, they did it with Debo, Bosa, Warner, and fucking now Ayuk, and they'll do it with the Brock too. Like, they're gonna weight that thing down. It's gonna be fucking annoying. And I hope they don't do that because they have all these examples of those guys performing poorly after they got their money because they had all this offseason playing fucking Mexican standoff, right?
But
for those that don't know what Mexican standoff is, when there's a bunch of us with all guns, you know what I mean?
But if you look at
there ain't even no Mexicans.
Do you pay a player or do you be like, you know what? Nah, I'm down. I will get somebody else to do a better job than you. You see what I'm saying? Do you pay that player or do you get somebody in the draft?
I mean, you know what's funny? So this is let's put our GM hat on, right? So they're like, Ayuk wants to get paid. Then it's like, bang, we draft the receiver in the first round, right? Like Like, and then it immediately leverages it, right? Because there's no way it doesn't. And then like it was a Mexican standoff. Now we all got our guns out, and it's like, hey man, pay me. No, you pay me. Or no, you play under the 5th year. No, you pay me. And it was just like, you know what I mean? It was one of those deals.
If I did get draft picks, say somebody offer me 4 draft picks for Debo. Bye, Debo.
Yeah, that ain't gonna happen though.
It's not gonna happen.
Hey,
wait a minute.
Okay, what we say on Talk Your Ears, it's always such a born every day.
Here's my thing.
No, it ain't. I mean, I agree with that statement, but in the NFL, ain't nobody giving up 4 picks.
I mean, I love
Debo. Debo is what is he going to be? 29.
Yeah.
Debo's not at the time 29-year-old Devontae Adams resetting the market. At the time, he's not Tyreek Hill, 29 years old, who also reset the market. We have a 29-year-old Debo who's not in that category at all with those guys. Debo's not in that tier. Even though he does have under his belt being the number 2 receiver overall.
A 1,400-yard receiving season.
Yes. 1,400-yard receiving season, not to mention, or is that including the yards? It was an all-purpose season? Or is it including the yards? Because I think we have 1,400 yards receiving, you're right, plus the yards rushing.
But we also seen the Raiders pay a lot of players, and that.
The Raiders ever since the Raiders paid Jamarcus Russell, I always noticed that the Raiders paid dumbass.
Right.
So I get your point there when it came to
Devontae
Adams was definitely worth every fucking dollar though.
Right.
I'm not saying that Debo's not worth it, but Debo deserved it. So
right.
And that's where we are in the NFL. Is like, of course, there's motherfuckers that don't get paid. They deserve it.
Right.
They don't get paid. Even though what I'm saying, Debo might not have been necessarily worth it because he's so injury prone, but he definitely deserved it. You know, and he got it.
What I'm saying, I don't think they will offer y'all for a draft pick. I just was saying, for an example,
you guys want him? You guys want Debo? You guys want Debo?
No.
Well, you know what? Put the GM hat on.
No, we need a pass rush.
You ain't lying. Bad.
We get that.
Hold on, check this out, Ron. The first 10 weeks of the Falcons, right? First 10 weeks, you guys had 10 sacks. Or first 11 weeks, you guys had 10 sacks. This last month, you guys are, if you just go back the last like 5 or maybe 6 weeks, I think it's 5 weeks. You guys are like up there with the league leaders in sacks if it started 5 weeks ago. You know what I mean? Like, it's crazy. I don't know what Raheem Morris did. He changed something up. But you guys are the QBs. Maybe it's the matchups you guys have had.
And not what he did.
I'm just saying, imagine if you have an actual pass rusher, right?
Right.
Raheem Morris is very aggressive when he has one.
I finna say, if we at number 19 right now in the draft. If we either get a Myles Garrett, if we either get a Matt Cosby.
Oh shit! And I think it's more likely a Myles Garrett than anything.
Right. If we either
Matt Cosby, I feel like he's a lifer.
Right.
For the Raiders. Yeah.
If we either get somebody like that, we might be top 10.
Garrett has already came out and there's been like from his camp. It's like people in his camp that said it was from him and saying that he wants up out of there. You know what I mean? Like Max Crosby, you never hear that. Max Crosby's like, I want to win. You know what I mean?
Cleveland is. Remember back in the day, in the early 1990s.
Yeah, when Belichick saved them for a minute there.
Right. That's how Cleveland is. You go get paid, but
doomed.
Right.
Did you say the same thing about the Jets?
Right.
What about the Chargers? Again. Is Jim Harbaugh the Jesus for the Chargers?
Yes.
Okay. He might break the curse.
And I don't think he would break the curse. I think
for a while.
Right. I think they will play harder for him like they've been doing this year.
Yeah.
They've been playing some good football over there with the Chargers.
You ain't lying.
Now, the problem is
they also had a last place schedule, so you know what I mean?
The problem is
they get beat up by the good teams.
right.
Yeah.
The problem is, can they finally get to the playoffs and win in the
locked in
playoffs?
now. But yeah, winning is different. If they
Right.
play the Texans in the first round, it's sad to say because I'm an honorary Texans fan. Like it would suck if the Chargers meet them in the first round because the trajectory of the Texans is going the other way, and like the Chargers need to play these teams that are in these type of situations. Otherwise, when they play the good teams, they like look at the Bengals. The Bengals whooped them up, but the Bengals lost, but still they whooped them up.
But the problem is with the Bengals, you got Joe Burrow over there. He is right.
Yeah.
Joe Burrow is a different monster.
Mm-hmm.
We don't get those quarterbacks every year. We don't. Like Joe Burrow is. Now, they defense such as
he's my favorite right now. Like out of all, like, and I'm biased too because he's a Sagittarius like me.
Right.
And like because we are the what do they call it? When it comes to Sagittarius, we're the odd defiers. You feel me? Like we defy the odds. You know
y'all play fantasy every week, right?
Yes. And we're in the championship week.
Okay, I'm gonna tell you this.
Okay.
Next year, if you get a good Cincinnati Bengals team, I guarantee they will go to the Super Bowl next year.
Okay. That's what's up.
I guarantee it.
I mean, a lot of people this year that have Bengals players are in Super Bowls. If you know what I mean?
Right.
If my Super Bowl teams this year in fantasy are decorated with Bengals offensive players.
If they get the right defense over there, we to see another Cincinnati Bengals in the Super Bowl.
I think they need to get. I think what's sad is they might move on from Lou Romo, and I would take him for the Niners. But Lou Romo was a G for a while there because he was the. One thing with Lou Romo is like the Bengals would always start off slow, and then Lou Romo would figure out the opposing team for the second half. And then the Bengals would just come roaring in the second half.
Like they is now.
It was crazy. Like they had a formula going there, but they also lost. Like, here's the thing: when you pay Burrow, and then now you're anticipating paying Chase, you have to be able to hit. You have to be able to hit in these drafts with the youngsters. You know what I mean?
Wait a minute. I don't think they would pay Chase.
No, you have to pay Chase too.
No, you don't.
Oh, you got to, bro. You have to.
This why I say this. The owner of the Cincinnati Bengals don't like to pay nobody.
Yeah.
He don't like to pay nobody.
They also did get to a Super Bowl, and then he finally signed off on building an indoor practice facility for them. Being that
not only before that though,
but he's starting to open up that wall. When he opened up the wall, though, it was real squeaky. He's like, because it was rusted shut, you know what I mean? Because he didn't open that.
Hold on. One more thing though about the Bengals. The Bengals did have a great team in the early 2000s, mid 2000s, because they faced off in the Steelers in the first round of the playoffs. That's what took a Big Ben out. I forgot. I don't know if it was Leighton Van. I forgot.
It was what's his name, bro? It was AJ.
AJ Green.
No.
No.
There was AJ Green, but it was the backup QB.
Oh, you talk about Ocho Cinco now.
No. I'm talking about when they lost to the Steelers that year.
Yeah.
Are you talking about back in the days with Palmer?
So that's what I'm saying. Exactly.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's back then. Yeah. Because they never won a playoff game for a cool minute.
Well, once again,
they got Burrow.
So what happened? Fucking Carson Davis balling. But Carson
got injured.
It was the wild card weekend.
And AJ McCown, is that was his name? No, it was
it was Carson.
I think of the backup QB to Dalton that year, the other year, recently, back in 2015 when they lost.
like I said, this is in the early 2000s with
Yeah.
Carson Palmer,
Palmer.
Ocho Cinco, Hushmanzada and them. Bruh,
Yep. CJ.
they get to the field, and Carson Palmer on the first play or on the first drive, like tears ACL. So they had teams already, so they had to pay to keep them players around already. So that's the point that I'm trying to make. So they have had a team before,
right?
100%.
What I was trying to say,
number 1 overall too.
Right? They always had players, but it go back to what I just said. They owner don't like to pay players. So will you stay somewhere and you do a great job?
Yeah, when they're gonna reset the market.
Let me jump out on this real fast.
Go ahead.
So look, Brad. So you got T. Higgins and you got Jamar Chase, right? So if the argument that we talking about is paying players, and this is what we can see, we're seeing somebody win the Triple Crown in a year where he sat out of all the practice this summer, right? Also, hold on. We also seen a player on the franchise tag who can step out and ball out and try and get the $30 million payday as well. And he missed a whole bunch of games now saying he wasn't hurt or if he was.
And he's making like 25 this year.
You want to pick guaranteed. They going to pay Jamar Chase over T. Higgins.
Pay the man.
Walk, and you get to franchising this year if it comes down to that, which I don't think is
going back to what I said. You got to.
But
Jamar Chase,
once again,
you got to.
We know Chase is a monster. We know that. But it go back to the owner.
I look under their bed.
It go back to the owner, how he look at the players over there. It go back to them.
Okay.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. I know Chase is a pit bull off of a leash. A top 5 wide receiver, all that good shit. But it go back to the owner. Do the owner recognize he that, or do the owner saying, you know what, I could get another wide receiver?
Bro, they took him top 5, big bro.
Hey, we seen this.
And he's about to win the triple.
Okay, here's what they don't want. Here's what they don't want is that they look across their division rivals who have been either trying to trade for receivers if you're and like you get Deontay Johnson if you're the Ravens, because they're never going to make a big splash. But the Steelers were trying to make a big splash all offseason trying to get IU. So it's like if there was someone like Chase that was out there, bro, it's this team that would do it. That's across the way. There's no way.
And Chase they still got
there's no way Chase is. If Chase goes to another team, he's 29 years old, like Debo and shit like that.
And they get the franchise tag, bro. 100.
That's exactly
what I'm saying.
They get
he's getting melted.
So he's still got to play his 5th year. He has to play his 5th year because he's a 1st-round pick. So he's going into his 6th year. They get him for 6 years because they get the franchising for a year at 5th year.
But how many times we seen wide receivers on a team and they don't get paid?
Bro, a Triple Crown winner.
Hey, it happens. I'm with y'all. Wait a
bro.
Hey, I'm with you.
In the 4th quarter, too.
I'm with y'all. I understand all that, but you got to put your mind as a business, as an owner.
I get it.
Now, you know your defense suspect. Now, do you put all your money on offense, or do you say, you know what, I like Chase, he that, but I was trying to build my defense.
I mean, we're living in the day and age.
I got a point for you. So I'm going to go back in history, right? Cincinnati not known for and this ain't no knock at my motherfucking Cincinnatians. Shout out to my Ohio players.
I got it in Ohio.
Not a glamorized city to where motherfuckers is a free agent destiny. So they known for building within through the draft. So if you only known for paying Chase and the quarterback 100%, you still be and they don't get rid of picks to bring players in. So you still got all your draft capital, and these two players that we talking about is home drafted, bro. It's the same shit with Dallas.
They finna pay. You know what they finna do? They finna pay Chase and then draft another receiver in like the third round or something.
Why draft the players and groom them and fucking not groom them?
Check this out. They're gonna pay Chase and don't fuck around and double franchise tag Higgins for real.
Wait a minute. I with y'all. I like Chase, but you seen that defense?
I know, but okay, what do you think they're gonna do? So, okay, you have Trey Hendrickson there, who leads the league right now in sacks. The entire
free
league.
agent.
So, are you gonna retain him and make sure he breaks the bank on the position? Probably not.
No, I'm not paying you. You don't let him walk. That's what the draft is for. You still have you can't keep paying for. You're gonna have to choose what side that you're gonna put on.
Right.
So, We've seen it with the Chiefs. They won a Super Bowl with Tyreek. They let him go. That's not a good analogy, but yet they let a top 5 wide receiver go.
Because they're the Chiefs.
I'm with you. I'm with y'all. But when I'm saying we to put up 30, but we cannot stop nobody on defense.
Well, so you got to bring in, you got to find somebody with the right philosophy and with the right schematics to go ahead and get the right scheme in there and get the right players that they need to rebuild that defense, because you're going to have to sacrifice. Once you give a quarterback $60 million, it's going to sacrifice somewhere else. Then you got a wide receiver that's arguably wanting 30-something million. So you can't break that tandem up, because you see what it is in a season where it's a shit show, but yet it's a top duo, bro. There's no way you could break that duo up, bro.
Okay, but look, you put up 30. Let's just say 30 every game, right? 30 points every game, right? Let's just say that. But how can you stop offense?
They're gonna have to figure it out, big bro, because
I paying Chase, say they pay Chase $195 million for 5 years, right?
Right. Then he's tied to
$195 million for 5 years. I just an example, everybody. Okay. But your defense is ass.
I got the simple solution right now, big bro.
Okay, hit it off, big bro.
Right now. We're gonna fire Zach. We're gonna fire the whole motherfucking regime, and that's where Vabro going. Vabro had the whole turn completely around in Tennessee and had Ryan Tannehill in the NFC Championship. So all we need is a cultural turnaround, bro. We'll get a few drafts. We still got Joe Burrow in his prime. We still got Chase in his prime. We go ahead and let T. Higgins go, because we can replace that production 100%, bro. And we invest into this defense on this defensive side of the ball, which Vrabel excels in. We're going to find somebody to make it work with Joe Burrow, because Joe Burrow probably, arguably wherever you want to put him in the hierarchy of the quarterbacks, he's going to make it work. So
I am going to say, I don't think they get rid of Zach Taylor just yet, because here's what I am going to say, because while we're predicting shit, we're doing some bold some hot takes here. I want to point out that this is the trend in the league right now. Tying your QB and his number one guy together, and they're the biggest paid. Dallas.
Yeah.
Philly.
Yeah.
Right? And now it's going to be Chase and Burrow. It's just how the nature of the beast is right now. Because listen, there's a lot of talent out there, but the high-end talent, the elite,
they don't want to go to Cincinnati.
Don't let that guy go.
They don't want to go to Cincinnati. He just said, I don't care. No pass rusher in the NFL or free agent, you tell me he would want to go to Cincinnati.
But big bro, that's not the.
I think there's a bag for Trey Hendrickson there, and they can pay Chase. They could play Chase. Jamar Chase and Trey Hendrickson next year if they wanted. That just means Ixnay Higgins for surely. You know what I mean?
And
But
see, my
what?
thing is with Cincinnati is, and the reason why I brought that up is because of also on the flip side is that they're known for building within the draft. Everybody, if we want to go talk
Yeah,
about,
Except for like Trey
if
Hendrickson.
you
And
want to
like,
talk about the
they didn't pay Jesse Bates.
and all that, bro, in the mid 2010s and all that with the Big Ben and all that, bro, that was all homegrown, and Cincinnati
Right.
is all homegrown, bro.
Right.
So they're going to pay what they homegrown because they can't afford to bring in they have to overpay free
Yeah,
agents.
because they're not an initial draw.
And
The fact that they don't pay
I do
free
that.
agents like that,
huh?
the fact that they don't pay free agents like that historically, they're not a
Right.
draw. Exactly.
Right. What?
They're a draw for veterans who want to win. If you look at that organization as
Bro,
a contender,
Bro,
because
we
they have
had
Burrow.
to. We signed. Look, Justin Smith is one of the best Niners there is. Where did Justin Smith come from, bro? The Cowboy. He
But-
came from Cincinnati, bro.
But
100%.
but what I'm saying, look, all I just saying, you pay Chase, you pay Higgins. Okay, your offense got all your money. You just paid Joe Burrows. The offense got all the money.
No,
If
it
you
don't.
want to compete with the top five
There's no one
defenses,
paid on defense though, except for Logan Wilson, I think.
Right.
Bro, he's
But-
competing with the top five. It's not him. It's the other side. So he's competing with a top five
Right.
because he's shredding every fucking defense,
Right.
big bro.
but what I'm saying, how can you stop people on off? I mean, yeah, on offense.
Hey,
Your
so
defense is
it-
not
it's
good.
the same thing with the Niners, bro. It's the same thing with the Niners right now. They in the same predicament. They're going to have to get rid of the defensive culture because if you want to keep the offensive side of the ball, if you want to stick with Zach Taylor going to have to look himself in the mirror and bring in somebody like how Philly did. Look what Philly did, bro. They brought in Vic Fangio and fucking Kellen Moore, bro. And told, bro, look, you don't even get to pick your motherfucking coordinators. We're picking them for you. You go kick back and be the front man for what's going on behind the scenes. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? So
John Lynch is about to start calling all the homies up. Like, listen, man, we got to make phone calls.
But
You got to get up Warren Sapp for like, listen, I'm about to bring together an all-star cast
all I just saying,
on defense.
if you want to compete with Baltimore, Pittsburgh, Kansas City, who else out
they
there?
compete with them, bro.
Buffalo.
They compete with them.
But on offense, Buffalo. On offense,
They
they
got 8 wins, bro. 100%. So they not too far off, though, big
I'm
bro.
not saying that far off. I'm not saying it. But what I'm saying, when time get cracking in the playoffs, you got to stop Lamar Jackson.
Man,
you got
when
to
time
stop.
get cracking, you got to stop Joe Burrow, too, though, big bro. That's the thing.
So you rather put 30 points on offense than stop somebody on defense. That's what you telling me?
No, I'm not saying that. But when I got a quarterback that can go ahead and get me in field goal range in 45 seconds, and if it's a field goal game, you motherfucking right. Or if it's a 2-minute game and it's a 5-point game and we need a touchdown, I'm taking Joe Burrow out of matter of fact, in the playoffs, we've seen it in the playoffs what Joe Burrow do.
I'll take Joe Burrow over most of these quarterbacks. I swear to God.
Okay.
Playoffs, Lamar and Josh Allen.
Okay.
Joe Burrow got the pedigree.
Okay.
I've seen him win big games in college.
Okay.
Let me say this. Big games in the league.
Let me say this. Say the game tied, right?
Okay.
Y'all need a stop on defense.
I mean, that's what happened to Joe Burrow in the Super Bowl. He got them the lead late in the fourth, and there was a 4-minute drive to end all drives where Stafford ends it by throwing a fucking no-look to Cooper Kupp to cap off his MVP, Super Bowl MVP.
And what happened?
And that's exactly what happened, bro. Then here's the thing, though. Then they have like, a minute and something to try to go get the win, right?
Right.
And Jamar Chase is wide open, and Joe Burrow is trying to get it to him, but that pressure comes through and he gets hit and he throws, and then it was it. See, and that's what I'm saying is like Joe Burrow. I feel like if this is like going back to what JD said, this is a homegrown organization. They homegrow everything.
Right.
When you start paying all the offense, you have to get really good at drafting young defense. You know what I mean? That's really the formula.
So,
We see it. We see it in Kansas City. That's what Kansas City is doing, bro.
Wait a minute. I glad y'all brought up the Kansas City.
The only guy paid on that side now is Chris Jones for real.
Right, but Kansas City bring in
lifer, 29.
They bring in players that play.
Don't
bring in no players. They drafted the whole defense is drafted, big bro.
Yeah. Wait a minute. You tell me on
they
defense.
They brought in Justin Reed.
Nobody,
they brought in Drew Tranquil.
Okay, well,
outside of Justin Reed and Drew Tranquil, though, they haven't really brought in anybody notable ever to that
100%, bro. And they just let their top corner
because
go.
Casey always has.
So
what they do with their top paid
where you gonna pay 100%. And see, like with the Kansas City Chiefs, even though they let Tyreek go, you had to pay for Kelsey. 100%. I bet you Kelsey gets somewhere where he's like 17, 18 million. Maybe
Kelsey's actually he's less than Kittle. I think Kittle's around the 17.
Right. I think Kittle like what 14, 15.
Kittle's around the 14. I think most of his years are 14, 15, but the first two on his extension
my point is that
and they're not even the highest paid anymore too, because
they walked away with they let somebody walk away and they chose to keep Kelsey 100%. Kelsey deserved the bag.
Evan Ingram.
They decided to go everywhere else, drafted everywhere. Isaiah Pacheco, 7th round pick. Kareem's a free agent right now, 100%. Everybody else, except for
what they're doing is still getting young on offense. They draft Rashee Rice in the 2nd round. First, they tried the Sky Moore.
Oh, they brought in Hollywood. So they brought in Hollywood.
Then they go 1st round.
So, but my thing is like though, bro, when you got a quarterback and the quarterback is commanding 25% of the salary cap. No matter what, you're going to have to pick and choose where you're going to pay somebody. And when you draft a player of Jamar Chase's caliber, there's no way you're going to let him walk away, bro. You're going to structure your roster around those two because that's your core. There's something about a core on a team, whether a player is a top flight player or he might be a mid-level player, but that mid-level player is part of the locker room and make sure he cut the fuck shit out of, you know what I mean? So
let me ask you this. I'm with you. Let me ask you this. Remember Julio Jones was in his prime, right?
Right.
Okay, Chase is Julio Jones. Yes or no? Right now.
Okay. Julio Jones is 6'4" and a track star on top of being one of the baddest route runners and all that shit we ever seen. They're totally different. I think the longevity is with someone like Chase because of the way he's
I think I understand what you're saying.
Right.
They both was top 5 picks.
Right.
The Falcons traded up to go get Julio. So they're generational talents, basically.
Right. But remember, when was Julio drafted? 2012?
I don't remember what year.
I think
the highest paid receiver back then was like 18, 19 million. By the time
my point is
for Julio to get paid, you know what I mean? We're in the 30s now.
But my point is, how many times you gonna let your wide receiver be like, you know what? I want y'all pay me. I want y'all pay me. I want y'all pay me.
True.
I want y'all pay me. And he don't work out with the team in the off season. He don't do nothing with the team, but he still asks, I want y'all pay me. And when you finally pay him, he don't have a good year. When you finally pay him, get him his money, he go on First Take.
Brandon Ayuk.
He go on First Take. Oh, I'm out of there. When you finally pay him.
I always stand on, I love looking at history and stuff like that, and looking at other different cases. But I'm always gonna ultimately factor in the case by case thing, and like because I was just trying to compare it to all the how the trend is now to make sure you have your franchise face QB with his fucking his number one receiver tied in, paid, and then boom, right? That's a trend. But at the same time, too, we never. Whenever we saw an organization win a Super Bowl in that fashion,
we haven't.
We haven't.
And
so there's that. So, but here's the thing, though, too. When has Cincinnati ever went to the Super Bowl? In '89 and then a couple years ago, right? So I think they're gonna try to keep this band together until it all doesn't work anymore.
But what
and I think we're like 10 years away from
all your money going on offense. You need to put some of that money on defense too.
Nah, but see, if the salary cap is going about 175, I think it is, maybe close to 180.
I got it.
If Joe Burrow is at 50, 60, 60 million.
They moving it up too.
That is my point for me. And so my thing is like if it's close to like 180, 190, and Joe making 60 and Brett making 30 a year, you still got almost 100 million to form out your roster, though, big bro. It's not gonna be that much because 100% it ain't really too. If you let Trey Hendrickson go, and he's a veteran, you might not want to let him go, but that's the type of decisions. That
they can give him a 3-year, 100 million type.
But once again,
so look, also you can franchise him and let T go. And
can you franchise him being a guy that wasn't drafted there? This is a
you can franchise anybody that's going off
on your team.
Franchise him. But right, we did franchise Robbie Gould at one point.
But once again,
we didn't.
Don't get me wrong. I like the kid Henderson. I like him. Boom. You franchise tag him. Okay. You franchise tag Higgins. Okay.
You can only use one.
There's an exclusive tag. There's an exclusive tag, and there's a regular franchise tag. So
let's just say you tag.
Someone can
franchise tag your linebacker or your pass rusher, whatever he is. Okay. Higgins.
Hold on real quick. Just one note I want to throw in there. They just franchise tagged Jesse Bates this prior year so they could retain him because they didn't want to pay him. And then they let him go finally, and he went to the Falcons.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Then I'm glad you brought that up. Then they lost their other safety to Carolina.
Yeah, and who was exactly
Dale
Bell.
So those two top safeties.
Is it Juan Bell?
Right. Those two top safeties right there, not on your team no more.
Von Bell.
Now, my question to y'all, is it hard to find great safeties in the NFL?
I think if you want to know my ideology on that question, is that I think good pass rush is going to help any secondary.
Well, so I'm gonna tell you, and them is facts too. But like this though, look.
But on the flip side, you can have a shutdown secondary,
but also
you get coverage sacks. You know what I mean?
When you say safeties, what did you say about the safety? What kind of safety, big bro?
Find any safeties.
In the safety.
Okay, so look, let's talk about this. Recent past drafts, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We just seen Christmas yesterday, right?
Mm-hmm.
The second game of Christmas, right?
Mm-hmm.
First round safety. What's his name?
Kyle Hamilton.
There you go, right here. So you got a stick of a first round safety. What you talking about, big bro?
Wait a minute. You know it's hard to find safety like that every year.
I mean, my Niners, we've had safety issues.
Y'all
We hit on
should know
Hufanga,
it's
then he
hard
gets
to
hurt. We
find a
draft
great
Jaron Brown.
safety
But
like
that's
that.
the thing. That's the beauty about the draft, though, big bro. So you got a high end
Jair Brown.
safety in Kyle Hamilton that was a top 15 pick, and we know what Baltimore known for because they had Ed Reed. They took Ed Reed as a first round pick out of Miami. So they know how to spot that shit, right? So, but also motherfuckers know it don't gotta be a first day pick or a second day pick on day 3. Oh, you can go find them gems. 100.
Right.
You know what I mean? So it just depends on.
So to answer the question, I think every position, the tops are dime a dozen. So that's why when they produce, and there's one hell of a fucking thing called the contract year that really does it, and that's what Trey Henderson just did, but is doing right now.
But Trey Henderson
on his contract year. I actually would hope that my Niners somehow get him.
Wait a minute. Trey Henderson been balling.
Oh, was Trey Debo for Trey Henderson? After they franchise tag Henderson.
I wouldn't.
Trey
Henderson.
I
wouldn't do that either. It would have to have, we would need more.
Trey Henderson been balling for a long time.
100%.
He has.
And he was a free agent. He went to them. Because they signed him. He wasn't drafted by them.
What I'm saying, we know safeties, great safeties in the NFL don't grow on trees.
No,
we know this.
So why would they give up Jesse Bates after a career year type?
That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. I was trying to figure out
why would you give up your safety duo?
The entire duo. Well, okay. So they had Jordan Battle and Dax Hill. They had drafted Dax Hill 3 years ago. So he was in year 3 now, season 3 now. He tore his ACL.
Okay.
And they also drafted Jordan Battle, who is a bad motherfucker.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Once again, have he show it during the games?
Who?
That safety.
Jesse Bates?
No, Joey.
Jordan Battle? Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Because you just said.
Okay, look at this. Just 2 weeks ago. Watch. Do me a favor, JD. Can you look on the sleeper? Just look at Jordan Battle real quick. Just his last 2 weeks, his last 3 weeks, he's been balling. Like he's a murderer in the making. Yeah. So, but they also, this is what I'm saying is like this could be a scheme fit. Why they're working so well, because they could believe in their scheme, and this is where coaching. It's a thin line between arrogance and genius, right? Because if you're a genius, you know you can make these guys win. Not everyone's Belichick though, because that's the best example of it. Where it's like, hey, I'm just gonna go find guys that fit my scheme that are disgruntled and on their second or third contract, and then you just build, and then they take care of who they have to take care of. They feel they need to take care of.
7 tackles last week and 10 tackles the week before.
Come on,
5 the week before that, and 5 again the week before that.
See what I'm saying?
How many interceptions?
And then he had a pick. He had a pick 2 weeks ago that went all the way down to the goal line, and then he fumbled it. But they fumbled out of the end zone, so it still counted for them.
So how you helping me out and you fumbling the ball?
He's like super. This is his. He's a
sophomore, or he's a second year.
This is the first year starter. He was benched all year last year.
How you helping me out and you just fumbling the ball out of bounds?
There it is. But
you know what though? See, that's the thing though. Like with teams that's not a super free agent destiny, they have to rely on the draft. Some players you have to let walk. You know, some players ain't cornerstones in your franchise. 100%. And you know what I mean? Jesse Bates might not have been a cornerstone. You might be able to replace that production. You know, maybe it might not be with one player, but it might be with multiple players through the draft, 100%, or it might be a low-level free agent that you can bring in that you don't have to overpay for. You know what I mean? Some of them low-level free agents, man, they come in and you get them in starting roles, or they find themselves in the starting roles. They end up shining too, though, big bro. So it don't necessarily need to be a big name, you know what I mean? Or even if you did. My bad. Go ahead.
I listen.
No, I was just gonna say sometimes that you do gotta let some of your players do walk away because you might got a young bull up and coming that you know what I mean? You can go ahead and let go ahead and walk because you got the young bull up and coming, you know what I mean? Because sometimes you do draft at positions that necessarily don't need needs, but yet, you know what I mean? This young bull right here, he the best player on the board right now. Let's go ahead and take him and slide him in there because we see bruh that's in the starting job right now. When his contract come up, by the time young bull ready, he gonna be ready to take bruh's spot, and we still got him on a 2, maybe 3-year rookie deal. That shit like that still happen, big bro.
I mean, it happens. It do happens a lot, but how many of, let's just say, safeties, you let your best 2 safeties go, but you got 2 safeties behind them ready to get it? How many? Not too many in the NFL.
Yeah.
That, you see what I'm saying? You let your best safety duo go to Carolina and to Atlanta.
Yep.
And you got 2 in the back waiting for you. We don't see that too much in the NFL. That's my whole thing. Do you put your money on offense or do you put your money on defense?
So in the case of Cincinnati right now, I'm gonna put my money on my 2 best players who happen to be the best at their positions in the NFL. That's where my money gonna go.
Okay, so that offense.
I'm gonna pay to retain those 2 players, but I don't think paying those 2 players is gonna hurt my situation as of right now, bro. It's not 100%. I'm coming off a season to where they got to play this week still, and they got to play next week, right? So if they got 8 wins, 7 wins right now, 100%. If they got 7 wins and they win the last 2, that's a 9-7 season, bro. 100%. You know what I mean? And that's still a block building based on we didn't see T. Higgins. We like how you saying right now, they defense completely terrible, but yet we still got a quarterback in his prime that ain't even sniffed his prime because Joe Burrow ain't nothing but about 26 years old. He ain't even his prime yet.
Like I just said, I like Joe Burrow. I think he a monster at quarterback. I've been following his career since LSU. I know, I seen it. I'm a Georgia Bulldog fan. I seen the shit.
Facts.
But my thing is, if you put all that money on,
I actually just went and picked up Jordan Battle in my redraft that I'm in the Super Bowl right now. Like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm picking up Jordan Battle. He has Battle in his name.
If you put all that money on offense, your defense gonna fall off. If you put money on your defense, your offense is gonna fall off. That's all I'm trying to say.
I have a great question for you, Ron. Ready? So you have London going into what year? 3?
3.
And then you have Pitts going into year 4.
Mm-hmm.
Bijan year 3 as well.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
No, year 3? Is it Bijan? So we're going into year 4 for London then, right?
Right.
Okay, so these guys are going to be, this is why you guys have this young QB, because all those guys are going to get paid. And as I hate to say, but Pitts probably, actually, that would be such an Atlanta thing to do, to like pay Pitts, but he should theoretically be gone, right? So now here's the question. Who's getting paid? Like, now you're the GM. What are we doing there in this next year?
I will trade Kyle Pitts.
Okay.
I will trade him for 2 draft picks.
Okay.
So I will pay
here. A former first rounder. We're trying to get like a 3 and maybe a future.
Right, a 3 and 4. Give me that.
Okay.
Boom. I will trade Kyle Pitts. To me,
do we try to pay London since he's after year 3? We pay him now.
Yes, right now.
So we can get him for cheap.
Right. Okay. Right now. I will pay Drake London right now.
Right now. I would too. Okay.
I will pay Bijan Robinson. Okay. I traded Kyle Pitts. Those 2 draft picks, the 3rd and the 4th pass rushers, or free agent. Better yet, give me Myles Garrett.
Take a bunch of picks and try to net you a Myles Garrett, but it'll probably cost you a first round, but that'll be like maybe the 17 or 18, like wherever you guys are at. Like where you guys are at right now. You guys are somewhere.
We at 19 right now.
19. So I was in the ballpark. Okay.
So that Kyle Pitts, can I cuss on here?
I like this. I like this plan, actually.
You can. Come on now.
Okay, Kyle Pitts.
There it is. Hey, you should put the application in, man.
Kyle Pitts is ass shit to me. He is straight ass. But
and what comes out of ass?
Ass. He is straight ass to me. I can't stand him. I think he a sorry.
I don't like the way he walks. I think
he's lazy. I think that's he is what a unicorn. That's a bunch of bullshit.
Generational talent is what.
Fuck that. He not.
Hey, you know what? He's on a very, very short list of rookie tight ends to go for the Thou Wow in the year.
How is it, Brock? The tight end from the Raiders got 1,000 yards, I think.
I mean, he was also the only game in town, but he's also a generational talent that they put that label on him too.
But Brock Bobber played with different quarterbacks.
You ain't lying. So did Kyle Pitts, and he was shit with every single fucking one of them outside of Matt Ryan.
Right. So what the problem?
Kyle Pitts.
Okay.
Yeah. I love Terry McLaurin because Terry McLaurin played with every fucking QB under the sun. Ball,
and he still put up 1,000 yards.
Exactly.
So what the problem? Kyle Pitts, you ass. I finna trade you to the worst team in the NFL.
The Browns.
To the Jets.
Oh, to the Jets? Ooh.
Give me 2 draft picks.
The Jets got to the way they're working too. If they're gonna run back this same core, it's crazy because the Adams thing, like Adams not practicing today, right?
Right.
Because he's probably like done for the year because they are gonna try to run it back.
So give me 2 draft picks. I fix my defense, and I go to Myles Garrett. Boom. Top 5 defense.
Bong.
I paid Jesse Bates again. I give him a 2-year deal. I give him a 2-year deal. I go get Myles Garrett. And with my first pick, I get another pass rusher. And I get another D tackle. So to me, Kyle Pitts, he had not even lived up to the hype.
No, not at all. I mean, listen, for what it's worth, I used to make fun of Kyle Pitts because I'd be like, after his rookie year, he finally scores a touchdown in the London game. So then the whole year I'd be like, he has yet to score a touchdown on American soil. Right. And I was able to say this for an entire season until the next year when he finally scored a touchdown in America.
To me,
and I'm like, but how does he get 1,000? Because he had all these little blow up games, but then on a per game basis, when you average it out, it was really terrible. To get 1,000 in 17 games is only 6.
Well, he got 1,000 because at that time we didn't nobody respect our wide receiver core.
No. I mean, and then Calvin really gets the gambling.
Right, suspended. We traded Julio Jones.
That was his sophomore year for Kyle Pitts. Yeah,
right.
And Calvin really, at best, to me, maybe he's been flashing as a number one this past couple years. You know, with the Jags and with Tennessee. But with the Falcons, he was a true number 2.
No,
true number 2.
I would say number 2. And number 3-ish.
Yeah, because so you're not even giving as much credit as I am.
No, because
because he's an incredible route runner. Like out of the slot, he's gonna find red zone. He can find he can create these little spaces.
But the problem
he was really good. He was a tactician, but he was soft.
The problem is when you a wide receiver and you go for a first down, but you cut back all the time.
They pause because I said he was soft.
When you go for you're a wide receiver and you running for the first down, but you jump back, and you be like, I finna go out of bounds. To me, no. I can't fuck with you. Pause.
Wait. Hold on. So
Calvin Ridley's one of the baddest motherfuckers, but I'm saying though.
You said when a wide receiver decides to step out of bounds, that's a soft move?
No. This is what I'm saying. If you pull
I had walked outside.
Wait a minute. If you pull
we're talking about Calvin Ridley specifically.
Calvin Ridley
is the number 2. He's not a dominant number 1. That's why he's never been paid as one. That's why he was gambling on the side.
If you pull
that's my opinion on Calvin Ridley. Incredible route runner, especially out of the slot and the intermediate shit. But
to me,
a field stretcher or a number 1, like a true X, that's not him.
If you pull up Calvin Ridley, how he was playing in Atlanta, it's different than how he playing in Tennessee and Jacksonville.
Okay.
Jacksonville and Tennessee, like Calvin Ridley, like I got to get it.
Yeah.
In Atlanta, he was like, "Oh, I don't got to do too much, but I still."
He had Julio for his first few years too, though.
Yeah, and then he got to reap the benefits of getting the lesser coverage and playing in the slot. Piled up easy reception.
Me,
took a lot of things for yard. Plus,
me as a former wide receiver, you still got to do what you need to do, no matter where you at.
I get it.
No, I understand.
But now we're talking ideology here. You know what I mean?
We're going from Matt Ryan to fucking Trevor Lawrence, and then the merry-go-round of Will Levis and Rudolph on everything.
But,
you know what I mean?
but look, he got paid by Tennessee, $90 million. So he had to have a great season in Jacksonville to get that money.
Well, here's the thing. Tennessee also got a good look at him twice that year.
Right.
But, the same way Calvin Ridley, here's the thing. When someone like Mark what's his name? Christian Kirk. When Christian Kirk visited the Jags, no one wanted to go play for the Jags. You know what they said? Don't let him leave the building. Let's pay his ass. Then they trade for Calvin Ridley because this was their attempt to getting a high-end receiver, but they trade for him because no one wanted to touch him with fucking, however many foot pole you want to use for the analogy, right? And then as soon as but then he underperforms, quote unquote, as the number 1.
Right.
So they let him go. But here's the thing with Calvin Ridley, there was like 5 almost touchdowns that I can remember clearly in my memory where it was like outstretched and it was Trevor Lawrence, or it was like he stepped out when he caught it, or like there was always somewhere. So he could have had a bigger year, but he definitely parlayed that into this contract with another team that's not a draw. And it's like, once you get him in the building, don't let him leave. Pay this fucking guy.
I dare you said that, JD. What we always say, almost on top of your ears. I almost hit the lotto. I almost won $1 million.
But I pointed out the fact that it was the team that played him twice.
So
he tore them up twice last year too.
Though, big bro. Also, too, is the quality of targets. We all know that. We all all different is different quarterback play in different cities, man, and for different teams. 100% in the quality quarterback. We know that T-Law ain't what Matt Ryan was over there as well. Even though he had Julio, still though the quality of targets was there, bro. 100%. Levis ain't there, bro.
Okay. Y'all watch college football, right?
A little bit.
No.
Okay. The best wide receiver.
I watch the big games.
The best wide receiver schools.
My team.
The best wide receiver schools, and I hate to give this dude credit. Alabama, LSU, those the best wide receiver schools in college.
I would say Ohio's in the mix.
Okay, yeah,
Ohio
right.
State.
Because
Okay,
as much as I don't watch college, I do every year religiously watch. I whore all the cut ups and all the highlight reels that I can watch of all the prospects that are coming in because I need to know these things for fantasy content. You know what I mean? So I am aware of that, but I'm also aware of history, and from what as long as I've been doing this, those are the three schools.
right.
I mean, Alabama got the best route runners, but a lot of
Right.
them are all slot dominant guys.
Right.
Jerry Judy,
But
Amari Cooper.
right, but
You know
what
what I
I'm
mean?
saying,
Who we're just talking about, Calvin Ridley.
but they
You know what I
put
mean?
their body
Devontae
on-
Adams. Well, see,
Right.
all these guys could play out wide too, but you know what I'm saying. But they were killers out of this.
Right, they killers. But what
of
made
zone.
a wide receiver
They're killing
change
zone,
up? What
Zone
made
defense.
a wide receiver change up from college to the pro?
Because the scheme that they get drafted to, usually.
No, it's his route running.
Okay,
There
so
you go. Because a lot of
okay,
times
look,
they have to
I'm
expand
glad
the
you
route
said
tree.
it.
If not.
when if you look up right now how Calvin Ridley was playing in Atlanta, this not the same Calvin Ridley at Alabama.
100%.
This not the same Calvin Ridley he went to Jacksonville. This not the same
So-
Calvin Ridley in Tennessee
Are you
Titans
saying he
right now.
was able to adapt to every system or not? Because I would say like he played his best in Atlanta because the scheme fit him.
No, he playing his best in Tennessee and Jacksonville.
I mean, is it
In
because
my
he's
opinion.
getting big bombs down the field? Because then I
Right.
would argue that it's because those are teams that are always playing from behind. You know what I mean?
Well, no, they're not. To me, he was soft in Atlanta.
Yeah, for sure. I'm with you. That was one of my opening
To
statements.
me, he caught the ball. He caught the ball, but he spin out and go out of bounds instead of getting the first down right there.
Yes.
You see what I'm saying?
Instead of trying to drive up the field.
Right. I like motherfucker at first
I get what
down
you're
right
saying.
there by your toes.
He is okay. Calvin Ridley. Here's what I call the Alabama guys, right? The Alabama guys tend to be in big paws. They tend to be soft. The receivers, they're all finesse. Amari Cooper,
They're
Calvin Ridley,
bro. It's footwork.
yes,
Right.
they're all finesse. They're
Bro,
not
100%.
Jared
Alabama.
Judy, these guys get beat up. If you beat them at the line, you have a better chance on them because those guys are going to kill you with their tacticians.
Yes,
That's what they
yes,
bring
yes.
out of there.
It's starting
I
with
think Louisiana. I think
Look.
LSU truly produces the
LSU.
dominant X receivers.
Right.
that
If you look at
the elite of the elite.
if you look at
It was
all the
past-
LSU wide
even OBJ
receivers,
was in that conversation for a little while. You know what I
Right.
mean?
if you look at all the LSU wide receivers, they big, pause.
Yeah.
They will put a $150 on you in a heartbeat.
100%.
Bama wide receivers
They'll
got
pile up
the
hell of
footwork.
receptions on you.
Right. They get the receptions
Yeah.
and footwork.
And
on
but then
point.
there's also Devontae Smith,
Right.
who was a
So-
crazy field stretcher.
Right.
Jamison
So,
Williams, crazy
so
field
my
stretcher. So
my
there
whole
is-
thing is
There is the other guy, but they are also tacticians. They run
Right.
the entire route tree as well.
if you
Jamison Williams
monster,
would have had me in 3 other Super
If-
Bowls. Why did I?
if you a monster in college, why would you change when you get to the pros? That's what made you in college.
Where's Garrett Wilson out of? Ohio, right?
Yes.
Marvin
But
Harrison, Ohio.
My whole thing, and that was Calvin
Ohio.
Ridley. He changed when he came to the Atlanta Falcons. No,
Michael
we
Thomas.
need that monster that you was in college.
Yeah, but they had Julio too, though, big bro.
But Julio was not
Takes a lot
playing
of
in some
attention.
games.
But you still gotta respect the OG. I don't think Big Brett. I don't think Lil
Yeah.
Brett was trying
Lesser
to.
coverage.
Yeah, I don't think Lil Brett was trying to walk into that spotlight like that. When
His rookie year, he had 11 tugs.
If
I remember like at least if I remember correctly.
Yeah, Julio hit for. I mean, really hit for a 1,700-yard season with
his
y'all.
rookie year,
Right.
and
But
this
that
was
1 year.
And you know what's crazy? Hold on. That was 2018, if I remember correctly. 2017, you know who did that? Juju out of the slot with Antonio Brown on the field.
But
this is a
my
thing.
whole thing
You know what
is
I mean? When you have the elite of the elite on the field, it's going to demand so much attention. The other motherfuckers, especially when they're predominantly out of the slot.
But
you know what I mean? And a lot of these guys
is
here's another thing too. A lot of these guys, real quick, I want to point this out. A lot of these guys in college sucked against man and press coverage.
Right.
But so when they get to the NFL, they put them in the slot because they're good at killing the zones. So they're gonna put you in the slot. So it's like that's what happened. Juju's a perfect example. When there was no Antonio Brown, absolutely trash. You know what I mean?
Well, my whole thing is the number one wide receivers. Julio did not play a lot of games with us, and we had Calvin Ridley. Why Calvin Ridley did not step up? That's my thing. If you said you love Atlanta, you want to be in Atlanta, and Julio not playing that game, why you ain't step up?
You know his.
Let's talk about it. JD, you've been knowing me for a long time. Yes or no?
100%.
Okay. If my number one wide receiver not playing today, ain't that the best time for me to step up?
Hell yeah.
So why Calvin Ridley did not step up?
I don't know, big bro. You got me right there, bro. I ain't gonna lie.
See what I mean?
Yeah.
And you be looking at like he take place off. You be looking at Calvin Ridley like, really? You go out of bounds? And you at the 1 yard line? Why you didn't get the touchdown? See what I mean? That got people thinking like, do you want to be here?
Right.
You see what I'm saying? That's all I ask for. Give me that effort.
Yeah, and then so he had the little troubles with the little gambling shit.
Right.
He had the troubles with some people going in his house too, though.
Right.
You know, they went in his house.
But
weird shit up in his house.
My cousin know Calvin Ridley. He said none of that shit happened to Calvin Ridley. Calvin Ridley just did not want to be in Atlanta.
Yeah, so about them robbing his house was fake.
Fake news. He did not want to be here.
Yeah.
I keep
it with them going up in Calvin Ridley house.
That was fake news.
Yeah.
That was fake news.
I remember this now.
Okay, we got shout out to Raul. Shout out to everybody in the chat.
My bad. We going on a tangent.
100%. Daniel Caps is in the building.
What's up, Daniel Caps?
Jay Will, he pulled up. We got
What's up, Will?
in the building. Kaka in the building. We got Guru in the building. I'm gonna get to Papa Guru shit right here. But Raul Da Casa, first time seeing you up in here.
What's up, Raul House, man? Raul Da Casa. Let's go.
Let's go. He said, I heard that when the Bears selected the top 3 coaches they had, that was Matt Eberflus, Jim Caldwell, and Dan Quinn. They put Dan Quinn in coach seat.
And then Dan Quinn went to the Cowboys. Oh, why didn't they go Dan Quinn, knowing that they had the defense they had at the time too? They went with Eberflus, and at the time, his claim to fame, to be, if you ask your old pal Bogart, his claim to fame is that he has 2 wins over Mahomes. Because that's not, a lot of coaches can't say that. You know what I mean?
But once again, how many?
Yeah, Matt Eberflus was a stupid hire.
How many wins?
No matter what.
How many wins did Dan Quinn got overall?
He got 10 right now.
Okay, that 1 year.
Then he has his time with Atlanta, and he has his time with the Seahawks.
Wait a minute. No, we were winning on offense
Super Bowl
in Atlanta. Dan Quinn's supposed to be a defensive guy on defense, right?
Yeah.
Okay. He left Atlanta. We fired him. He
Yeah,
went
then
to
he sits
Dallas.
around for a little while.
Right. He went to
Then
Dallas.
the Cowboys eventually get him.
Right.
And then he turns them all the way around
Right.
on defense.
Right. Now he went to Washington.
And he has another go at it
Right.
as the head coach. And now
So
he knows what he did wrong.
So where that defense rank at? Washington.
Okay, I can't tell you off the top of my head, but I know JD. I know he got the sharp wops and all the things on the thing. So we can actually tell you exactly right
Give me
now.
a second. I'll pull that shit up.
Yeah, we can actually tell you exactly right
That
now
what
because I know
that what
they're up there in sack totals. They're up there in pressures. I know
Right.
they're not. They're also up there in points allowed. So they're
Right.
they're pretty good on just from what I know, but I can't tell you exactly where they're at overall right now.
But
I'm gonna say they're either 12. They're in between the 12 and 14 range. That's what I'm gonna bet.
okay. So all I want to see is
You got a guess here?
huh?
Where do you think they're at? You got a guess?
I think they're at 15.
Okay, I'm gonna go 12 and 14. Let's just go 12. Yeah.
And this is why I say this, because they got the corner from New Orleans.
But he has only played 2 games so far.
Right.
And he's been on the team for like fucking 6 weeks. You know what I mean?
Right. So he got is he the number 1 corner or number 2 corner?
You got me there because I couldn't. I know more about their safeties and their linebackers, their edge rushers, and their DTs. I couldn't even tell you the corners. Do they still even have Kendall Fuller playing nickel? I'm like, the reason I'm saying this
No, they let him go
because I know the fantasy relevant guys.
Right, they let Fuller go.
Yeah, so Kendall's gone, and he was awesome, but he's solely a nickel guy.
So once again, do you got the number 1 corner on? Is he the number 1 corner or number 2 corner? If he the number 1 corner,
he was shadow. Okay, who did they play? Okay, they played
Philly
last week. They played Philly. He shadowed or traveled, whatever the term you guys want to use,
right,
with AJ Brown. So yes, to answer your question, he's there. This is why they traded for him. They wanted a true number 1.
Okay. Well, in New Orleans, he was battling injuries for a long time.
Yeah.
He's been battling injuries since he got in Washington too.
Yeah. They actually traded for him while he had a hamstring injury. I've never seen this. I'm like, how does he pass a physical? But they had to make the trade because it was at a deadline trade. So it's like, shout out to New Orleans. They did it smart. And shout out to the Commanders who took a fucking gamble because that could have been all the way wrong. He literally only got on the field this last 2 weeks.
But did New Orleans was smart, or New Orleans were like, you know what? Yeah, okay, it is what it is. Dan Quinn 56 at 49, including playoffs.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, it's about getting assets at that point.
Right.
Trade assets. I mean, draft assets, right? Draft capital, whatever the fuck your term.
So my whole thing is, can he turn this defense up to another notch? That's my whole thing.
Okay, I'll say yes. You know why?
Why?
They are okay. But JD, did you find it?
Yeah. So
because
I don't got the overall total rank, but what I got is that in points forward, points against them, they 19th with only 348 points scored against them. Then in passing yards allowed, they're 4th in the league with only giving a 2,782.
Right. And they've had no Lattimore the majority of the time. See, because you know what they're predicated on? That fucking pass rush, bro. They're crazy.
But they're susceptible on the run, and they're 29th in the league and giving up rushing yards at 2,061 through
yes.
game.
Okay.
And you could say it's the interior because they definitely lost Deron Payne and Jonathan Allen for the season and Deron Payne for most of the year. He's back. So
okay.
real quick.
So if
But
the
I wanted
defensive
to point out
line,
something you said though, Ron. Earlier you said going back to the game this Sunday night, it's going to be who can run the ball,
right?
and so. And I don't think their yards that they're giving up is on some bend don't break shit because their secondary is not shut down. Their secondary looks so good because that pass rush, bro.
But if your defensive line don't get to the quarterback, then what they're saying about your secondary?
Oh, they gonna get cooked.
Yeah.
Okay, so when you
they've been pretty good at getting to the they've been getting to the QBs though.
Now remember.
If Washington is susceptible on the ground, in which they're the 29th,
they're gonna try to run. They're gonna get a dose of Bijan.
Y'all got the best tandem, and you playing with a rookie QB.
Right.
You don't.
So they're gonna lean on the run
going into Washington on the road. So this is back-to-back games. You definitely want to try and go in there and attack the run defense where they're giving up the windshields. We call windshields.
It's gonna go down. It's gonna come down to if they could handle this weather, Washington on offense, and they get the shredding, and then like it's gonna force Penix to have to throw, and you know what I mean? Like
that's where
this is why he said the run game is importante. Who's gonna decide this winner? Because Atlanta, this whole entire year, they're making QB1 finishes, and QB1, I'm saying for fantasy purposes, that means you finish top 12 at the position.
That's why it gotta be a heavy dose. They gotta keep JD 5 off the field.
But I'm gonna tell y'all a little secret.
It gotta be a heavy dose of Algier and Bijan. This
I'm gonna tell y'all a little secret. Michael Penix was
at Washington. No one's listening. Go ahead.
He was at Washington.
Oh, now
he was drafted. He went to Washington, and they play in the cold, they play in the rain, and he still put it up those yards.
Yeah.
So I don't think nothing get in my quarterback weight.
I'm bad to cut you off. What did Penix throw for last week?
Maybe 180. He did not do that much last week.
Okay. Yeah. So the run game was working phenomenally, and the defense was doing their thing.
The man saying, if their defensive line cannot get to Michael Penix,
this is a team effort here,
right? So if your defensive line cannot get to Michael Penix, your secondary gonna look suspect. So when your secondary look suspect, they're gonna get cooked by Drake London.
What's the hit? What is the hit? I kind of know this answer, but what do you think London has done again? How do you think London has fared against Lattimore shadowing him in their career? They played each other a couple times.
Right.
He shut them all the way out. So what do you feel about this matchup this week?
I think I like the matchup.
Because we are a fantasy show for everyone that's rocking with us, like that has London, because London's a factor this year. There's people in championships. I'm playing against London in the championship. So I'm asking this, like, how do you think it's going to fare?
I think it's going to be 50-50.
He's going to be tit for tat?
Yeah, tit for tat.
Okay, I like that.
No, they always play like that.
Listen, I got selective hearing. I heard you say tit for tit. Is that what you actually said at first?
Tit for tat.
Okay, I heard tit for tit, and I was like, yeah, I like tits. But then I was like, oh, he said tit for tat. Okay. So I heard it right.
They always
you said it right. I just had selective hearing. I ain't gonna lie.
They always play a good game.
Okay, look, in 2023, they first game. So I didn't want to go to this year's schedule because what I mean. So in 2023, November 26, Drake London had 7 for 591. When
hold on, was Lattimore healthy that game? Does it say?
Now that I don't know. And then in week 17 last year, it was 9 for 4 for 41 with no touch.
See what I mean?
That was his
I
2
don't know
games
if he
in New Orleans.
was he there because he's been hurt these last couple. Because then that means London's probably poised for a big game then.
So,
because I know when I actually looked this up, that's what I'm saying. The games that he did play with Lattimore in there, nothing.
that's what I'm saying. Is
2022, his rookie
is
season.
that
Okay, so that was there. It is right there.
I'm
is
gonna go
that
to
corner? Is he healthy for this game?
okay. His rookie season, they played the Saints the opening week. 7 for 5, 74 yards, no touch. And then in week 14, it was 11 targets, 7 receptions for 70 yards.
So I had that completely wrong. So if he's shadowing him, London might be in for a big game. If history serves.
Game either.
Yeah,
But you got to look at it. Is he healthy?
London or Lattimore?
Lattimore.
And I guess London is like.
Well, that's why he had been sitting.
But just because you sitting, that don't mean you healthy.
That usually means you're out
Right.
of injury.
So if he out, Drake London can have a field day.
Oh, he's in.
Right.
He's in. Like Lattimore is going to play. And to be honest, too, Lattimore, listen, I've never been scared of Lattimore like that. I always because I always felt like he lost a step since, years ago, because he was a rookie 2017. He showed up in a big way for the first 4 years of his career. Here's my thing with Lattimore, though, too. He did in recent history, in his last 2 games of him, the Commandos version of him. He shadowed A.J. Brown last week. A.J. Brown had a hell of a fucking game. So I'm not really, you know what I mean? And unless your name is Mike Evans, you know what I mean? This is why I'm glad we looked this up, because I had it totally wrong about London versus him, but I couldn't remember correctly if he was hurt or not, or playing hurt. Either way, he's gonna shadow him.
No.
And
I'm finna tell you this: you got Mooney, you got to worry about. You got our other tight end, you got to worry about it. Mooney, who we got from the 49ers.
Then there's Ray.
You got to worry about Ray. You got to worry about Washington, KC Washington. We got wide receivers.
Hey, KC Washington is my guy. Like life after Mooney. If you guys don't retain Mooney,
right?
KC Washington's gonna be a dude, bro.
So that's what I'm saying.
He's just
who you gonna put
and rotational?
Who you gonna put that corner on? Because everybody's gonna eat besides Kyle Pitts. Yeah, I keep it in 100 with KD.
That's hella funny.
To me, Kyle Pitts a waste of talent.
I mean, they drafted him over Chase and Penny Sewell.
We drafted him because we needed that we just traded Julio Jones. Though we thought he'd be,
and they believed in Ridley to be an incumbent.
Right. We thought Kevin Ridley was going to step up.
Yeah.
But we seen what happened.
He bet against it, didn't he?
Right. So it who do you go? You go Kyle Pitts? In my opinion, I would go with Chase.
Yeah, because then Penei Sewell probably wasn't even in the conversation that much, because you guys already had an offensive line that was chock full of first-round talent.
Right.
Yeah.
So it where do you go? You go Kyle Pitts or you go Chase? Me, personally, I would have went with Chase.
Yeah. I mean, but here's the thing, too, is it's almost like the whole world knew that Chase was going to get drafted by the Bengals. So it's
right.
They probably were I feel like that's a real thing that's unspoken. Is this player don't want to go there. And this is life after the Phillip Rivers, Eli Manning thing.
Right.
if an agent will tell you he will not go there, like they
Right.
almost will fucking be like,
Right.
like Aiden Hutchinson. I don't know why he didn't want to play for Detroit, but remember that was the whole thing that he didn't want. I think he just wanted to be the first overall. But like, remember it was the thing. He was like, "Yeah, I'm going to Detroit." He was like happy, but he was like,
Right.
he wanted to be first overall so bad.
But that's where he grew up at.
Yeah,
I think
so
he
like,
won
so
Detroit
everyone knew he was going to go there. Like, it was almost stupid that the Jags didn't take him.
because the Jazz the year before 2020 they
took Travion
drafted Walker from Georgia.
Yeah, Travion Walker.
So
No. They took Travion Walker over Aiden O'Connell.
well,
Aiden O'Connell. I'm sorry, Aiden Hutchinson. My bad.
So it like, do you put another draft pick on your?
No. They took Travion Walker over Aiden Hutchinson.
There you go.
Yeah, they took him in the same draft over him.
So to me, it a win-win for Detroit and for Jacksonville. To me,
Yeah, but Aiden O'Connell. Why do I keep calling him Aiden Hutchinson? He definitely was very vocal about wanting to be first overall and not wanting to go to Detroit. Right now, it's probably the best decision that ever happened to him. Granted, he tore his ACL this year, but I'm just saying, with all that said, he definitely was like, and what is it? Is it for legacy? Like, why you want to be first overall? Like, who the fuck wants to go to the Jags? Or did he just want to get out of Dodge? Literally,
I think he just wanted to get out of Dodge, and I think he wanted to go home. You don't
get out of Dodge in his Motor City. Hey, I'm fucking good.
I mean, you don't hear about players want to go back home when they get drafted. You don't hear about that.
I mean, and then someone I could think of off top was Hernandez. You remember? Yeah, he got drafted and went back home because he was in Florida.
Right.
Drafted, goes back home where he's from, and he's just with all the blood gang, everything that he was connected to. He was just back home, and he's with the flagship.
So, like, do you really want to go to another team, or do you really want to go home and be in front of your family? And your family and kids, they come watch you.
I think youngsters, they don't understand it yet. Especially, but maybe unless you're a townie, right? Like he played for Michigan, he was from there, he never been anywhere else. So maybe it's like he wanted to go elsewhere. But you know, when you're a youngster, you don't realize like being close to the family and all that shit. That's really what it's about. That's why we go home for the holidays and things of that nature. Like, so you know, it's not really until you get older and you know, like you get to appreciate that. So, but he's gonna make millions, and he's already making millions, and I'm pretty sure he understands it now. You know what I mean? Now you can go buy houses elsewhere on the off season, like you know what I mean? You know, like it's just being drafted. You're there's 12. How many active players in the league at one point? 1,200 or something like that, or am I even undershooting it? Like it's a very rare thing, so I'm pretty sure that appreciation does kick in once you get those checks.
But they're like me. If I had a chance to go home, I would go home.
Yeah,
like I would not want to play for nobody else. I would want to play for my hometown team, Atlanta Falcons. Look at Grady Jarrett.
I mean, Randy Moss even at one point grew up a Raiders fan. So you know, what I mean, I'm not a Raiders fan. Not Randy Moss. Who am I saying? Who went to their? Who went to
Larry Fitzgerald?
No, not Larry Fitzgerald. I'm trying to remember. Who wanted to end their career? Warren Sapp. There you go, Warren Sapp. He was a Raiders fan. He wanted to end his career there. Why? Because that's his team.
Right.
You know I mean? Terrell Suggs, Arizona Cardinals fan.
Right.
You know what I mean? He's like, fuck it, I'll end my career there. You know what I mean?
If
like,
you look at all the older players that wanted to go home and play for the home team.
Marshawn Lynch. Fuck it, I'm going to the town, blood.
Right. I'm going to the Raiders.
Yeah.
Okay. But I just saying that speak volumes. Especially,
I do like that a lot. Like Tom Brady for years, his idol, growing up, his idols were Joe Montana and Steve Young.
right. I
So you know what I'm saying? He
to
wanted to
be
be a Niner.
honest,
Aaron
to be
Rodgers grew
honest,
up
I
getting
thought
the
he was
Patriots.
going to the 49ers.
Me too. Aaron Rodgers too. As much as
I,
people hate Aaron Rodgers, he's another
I
one of Sagittarius.
to me, I don't think Aaron Rodgers ever wanted to go to the 49ers because y'all always.
He's a fan though. I think when he got to the NFL, he grew to hate the Niners.
I think why he hate the 49ers because
they
y'all
knocked him out of the playoffs so many goddamn times.
Right. Y'all used to kick Green Bay ass every year.
And then even in the Aaron Rodgers era,
right.
14
It
years ago, we knocked him. And even in recent history, we've been knocking him out the playoffs.
Right. It like
last 14 years, we knocked him out like 4 times.
Right. It like I don't want to go to the 49ers. You see what I'm saying?
Okay, I get what you're saying there, but I'm talking about like him growing up.
So
he wanted to be in that infamous footage of him in that green room being upset while he's getting passed on hella much. Boom, boom, boom. Especially when Alex Smith got drafted to the Niners, he was pissed.
Well, you gotta look at
he's gonna get drafted because he's from the Bay, he's from Northern California. He played at Cal. You know what I mean? Like, but it was just set up for him to go to the Niners.
Okay.
Just like Brady thought.
Tell me this.
You know, the Niners were going to take a chance on him and he would be like a backup or something behind Garcia or whoever the fuck we had.
Tell me this.
We end up
Do you think if Tom Brady would have got drafted by y'all, do you think y'all would have won?
I mean, okay, here's the thing. Is like he would have had to get on the field first, and it was Steve Mariucci who passed on him. So it's like if it all worked out like if it was Tom Brady's destiny, we would have had Tom Brady and Steve Mariucci for like throughout the 2000s and the teens.
But the problem is,
hold on. And if we had drafted Aaron Rodgers instead of Alex Smith, Aaron Rodgers would have been taking the same beating as Alex Smith was because Alex Smith was a mobile guy coming out of college. But Alex Smith had like 2,000 yards rushing.
Right. Well, he changed up. You see what I mean?
Behind one of the worst offensive lines.
Right.
And that would have been Aaron Rodgers too. So, I mean, I can't really be like, well, if we had them, because I'm just looking at what they become and I wish I had them. You know what I mean?
And Tom Brady sat behind who?
Bledsoe.
Yeah. So he needed
Aaron Rodgers sat behind Favre.
Right. So they needed to sit behind.
Ironically, two guys who played against each other in the Super Bowl. But yeah, continue.
They needed to sit behind quarterbacks. Everybody don't, even Patrick Mahomes, sat behind
Alex Smith.
Right.
And you know what I think, what I say about Alex Smith with Mahomes there is that Mahomes, his whole getup coming out of college is he was compared to Brett Favre, being a gunslinger and reckless with the ball, this, that, and the third. He got to sit behind Alex Smith and learn, hey, you could throw it away.
Right.
Patrick Mahomes, 2018, 50 tugs and 8 picks or something like that.
So, that's what I'm saying. We don't talk about that enough. These quarterbacks sit behind and learn the game.
Baptizing fire is what they try to do these days.
Right.
Trevor Lawrence, like he's one of the Trevor Lawrence is an example that hasn't really panned out yet, but baptizing fire. But then there's Joe Burrow, baptizing fire.
But Joe Burrow, I would take Joe Burrow any day of the week before I take.
You know, Deshaun Watson baptizing fire too, if you think about it, because Tom Savage got hurt week 1 of Watson's rookie year. He got in there right away, but then he eventually tore his ACL. And shout out to my man Neon Peacock. He did always point, because he's our resident Texans guy. He definitely always pointed out the fact that Bill O'Brien was smart to adopt the college style playbook that he had in Clemson to make sure he translated.
To me, Bill O'Brien should in my opinion, he should never get another head coaching job.
I mean, he was like they tried to make him another Belichick over there, and
Right. No,
because he was the slash GM
right.
as well as the head coach.
Right. And that's what I hate. Just because
How you gonna fire that guy?
right.
The owner has to come down.
Just because it worked in New England, that don't mean it will work in Houston.
I mean, it's the same thing like trying to plant a seed that grows in Florida, but now you're gonna plant it in Minnesota.
Right. If
like, there's different weather you're dealing with
right.
now, different environment. So yes, I agree with you. It doesn't always work when you transplant something.
Right. Look at the Lions.
You know,
head coach.
It does.
Who's the Lions' ex head coach?
Who the Lions' next head coach?
Ex head coach.
So you had a Belichick disciple, and that was short-lived with Patricia, and before that it was Caldwell.
Okay.
And before that it was Jim Schwartz.
Okay, go back to the first name.
Matt Patricia, yeah.
Okay. When he got that job.
Their claim to fame was that they beat Brady one time.
Right.
And they beat Patrick Mahomes one time. So out of those, I think it was 3 years, 2 or 3 years. Out of those years, it wasn't shit.
Right. When he got that job, he brought over a lot of Patriots.
Yeah, he did. But when you're not a draw, that's usually what you do is you're going to bring over, former players that you've coached.
But once again, if it worked in New England, that don't mean it will work for Detroit Lions. If you don't got those type of players, if you don't got the head coaches, if you don't got the front office.
Hey, real quick, what did that score end up being? That game
6-3.
Still, damn. What a thriller.
Yeah. But I got to go. Y'all be easy.
Yes, for sure. Ron, man, appreciate you having you. I mean, we're probably going to put a bow on this one too, unless we got some questions in the chat on some fantasy because at the same time, you know what I'm saying, we're coming right back at them for Wake Your Game Up tomorrow morning. You know what I mean? Yeah, Ron, really appreciate you, man. Let them know where they can find you at too, man, because y'all content is real ill.
You can find me on Tuesday. Well, tomorrow we doing Talk Your Ish on Friday night.
Special Talk Your Ish Friday night. Okay.
We doing it on the Buck Flair show. So y'all come out, y'all have fun.
And that's on the Ignorant Thinkers podcast on YouTube. Yep. Everybody check it out.
YouTube, Twitter, all that good
all of it.
So
for sure, Brody. Appreciate you. Peace. Yeah, man. And yeah, man, it's just one of them ones. I'll voice to Brody. To Brody pop back up, but you know what I mean? I'm really disappointed, man, in all the good fantasy things we needed for tonight's game, bro. The JSNs and here's the thing, man. I was real confident in the Geno starts, the JSNs, the DKs, and the Charbonnets because of the fact that Chicago in this past several weeks, and several by definition is 4, and we can even go back 5 weeks. Man, they've been giving up mad booty to everybody. They held everybody out of the end zone. I don't know if it's a short week. We can blame it on because this is the classic Thursday night that we dread for the fantasy. But man, sucks for everybody that needed big games on this out of players tonight. Also, at the same time, man, for people that are playing against these players, man, you know what I mean? Stay focused. Don't go counting your chips just yet. You know what I mean? But you might have got an alley-oop with some people. We've been seeing this holiday week so far. We've been getting some burns. You know what I mean? Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, I need to take a piss for real. I don't want to just leave the stream though. I'll be right back. Yeah, JD too. Hold on, I'll be right back.